Denny J Show.
Zvanga zviri down ta up tauraidzwe nyaya dzacho dzese narrative ndaichidwe kana mchida kutipisa deep ndaipidwe make you spill a bean if you know what I mean hande
It's time!
Hey everybody, Becky K here. Thank you so much for the support that you have given Denny J Show. And we heard your cry and we answered. We now have our winter collection. Our merchandise is ready and available. All you have to do is send us a DM on our Instagram at the Denny J Show and follow the prompts and happy shopping. Alrighty. Hey everybody, it's the Denny J Show. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Becky K.
What do you do?
Nash.
Good evening.
We are back. We are back.
Did he just good evening?
Sounding cool.
No, but not blazna. So
Okay, all right.
Behave.
I got you.
Tonight, Elder.
All right, so greet me again.
How you doing, Becky?
I'm doing very well, Denny. How are you?
I couldn't be better. I couldn't be any better. I'm good. How's things?
Things are good. Things are good. I spent the last couple of weeks. I think it was 2 days in Mashingo, and then the rest of the week was at the ZITF in Bulawayo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I was away from home for 9 days.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
It reminded you of the time you
I was
went
with my
overseas.
husband.
It reminded you of
It
the time.
reminded me of the time when I went overseas.
Yes.
Yes, it did.
Nash, it was coming right like, oh,
Yes, yeah, it reminded me of the time when I
Because it
went.
was the same number of days.
It was the same number. No, it was 11
I'm in UK for 2 days.
overseas. 11. Anyway,
Most
do we
of
count the
traveling.
days of travel?
Yeah. I don't know if you count those.
No, just count them because
I
it
guess,
means I
yeah,
was
'cause-
away.
'cause
Yes,
you were away.
so that's 12 days then.
Yeah.
But in this case, I was away from home for 9 days.
How was the
Yeah.
ZITF?
It was pretty cool. It made sense for me this time.
Right.
It made sense business-wise. I made really good connections. I went to the stands that resonated with me and where I want to be in the next, 5 years. And I made good connections, yeah.
So you think it's a good thing for business people? I know it used to
Absolutely.
be a big deal back in the day.
No,
but
I
nowadays
think
not so
now
much.
it's coming back to
Oh,
being a
okay.
good deal. Because remember, the last ZITF before COVID was in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And then after that, people probably were just like, what's the use of going there? And then getting back onto that after COVID, it was almost like learning how to walk again. And I hadn't been since 2019. I didn't see the need to until this time again because the organization that I represent was exhibiting.
Oh, nice.
And we won a silver medal for first-time exhibitors.
Do we clap hands for silver, Nash?
No, we don't.
Oh, wow.
Well done.
Too bad.
Well done. Silver is okay. You did okay.
We did good, yes. And what I didn't know now was that a week before ZITF, you actually sit for some training so you understand the theme of the fair and what your stand should look like so that it resonates with the theme. So we knew the theme, but we didn't get it to the...
Okay.
Yeah. So they were like, so next year you're going to register under SMEs. And so we need to attend that training. So I'm really looking forward to those things.
Oh, no, that's nice. And then the gig, did you go for the gig? There was a big gig in
I was in my
in
blankets.
Bulawayo.
They were up to here.
You didn't go watch Winky D?
Gaia
Do you have a
Uyazi.
problem with Winky?
Oh gosh. I do not
Okay,
have a
just
problem
playing,
with Winky D. However, I do have a problem with going out when my body is tired. I was tired. I was working since Monday, making sure the stand was okay, assisting my colleagues and all. So, but by the time I got back to the hotel room, I was tired, knackered. So I'll just get home, get to the room, bath, and sleep, and watch TV. And the only thing that you could watch on the TV was Z World.
Oh, okay.
What lodge were you at that only at SeaWorld?
I'm not saying anything.
How much did you pay for this lodge? 20 what? 20
It's not a lodge.
You can also say SeaWorld. So, but Denny, did you hear about this blow thing? Anzi boys rugu chema.
Oh, what happened?
Anzi ma human esse zvawo. Akatorwa nembada dzanga dziri ko.
They must not even lie. Because the Mbadas came with their own people. from
Wait,
Harare.
no, the Harare people don't go with
We
it.
don't do that.
Dude, I'm telling you, they came with their people.
Like who?
Just know that they came with their people.
No, hands was boys rock blues
People
kuchema.
go to Bulawayo for the...
Yeah, so it was the ones who did not go with their people. But there were some who came with their
But the
people
locals are crying.
to make
The
sure.
locals,
The
are
locals
No,
are crying.
Local
and they
guys
will
are crying.
cry. And they will
locals.
cry because those things do happen.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. But
So-
they came with their people.
Okay, all right. But we should have gone, right, Nash? I
Yeah,
don't
we
know
should
why.
definitely. I
I
think
just
next time
found
we
out
should have.
about it towards the day, the gig especially, because
Yeah.
said ITF is not really a vibe for me.
Yes, and we've got people from Bulawayo who actually watched the show.
Oh yeah,
Took lots of pictures. Becky from Denny J. And I was like, here we go.
nice.
Nice.
Used to this
Yes.
superstar.
No, I'm not used to it at all.
but
But
you are, Becky. I'm sure everybody just. You're the hottest chick on TV in Zimbabwe, at least, right, Nash?
But blues are a competition, man.
Oh yeah, blues, man. All right, okay. All right.
Kosiana nekunongwa. Blues. Blues Becky is just Becky from.
Ngakwela khona phela mina. I'm a Bulawayo girl.
Blues.
I was with my people. Yes. I was with my people.
All right, so
it was a good week.
So what's happening today? We have a very special guest.
Yes, we've got a very special guest with us today, and a long story about this special guest. Once upon a time, sometime last year, Denny gave me the assignment to, speak to this man, and I did. I reached
legend.
out, right? I reached out to him, and thank God, I've always spoken to him in good rapport, right? I've never been like, snobbish. So when I asked him, he was like, no, gang, you know what? I'm game. Let's do this thing.
Right.
The day we were supposed to do this thing, someone decides, no, there's a business trip that I need to go on. And then that someone went on the business trip, and then now I had to pick up the phone. I was like, there's no way I'm phoning. To meet our WhatsApp.
Right.
And I was like, oh, mister, I'm so sorry, some changes. And then he was like, I see you. And then it was no picture, no sound. And I was like, we are never getting this man, ever.
Yeah.
On the show.
But of course, Becky K being Becky K.
No, dude, my name is Becky K. I got some glory
Yeah.
all up in here. Yeah, so I called him up again, the legend, and I was like, what are you doing today? Like literally, that's how the phone call went. Hi, Murise, Mushe ndiani ndi Becky. She goes, Becky Debbie. Muri kuita inas? Shikanzi kunei wandirongera chi ndikati muzashow yeye. Shikanzi okay yamakanditambisa bhora paya ndikati mdara, you know what, today is the day. Alright, nguvai na 5 manje nezvandakapfeka huyai makadaro nekapu yenyu. So he's like, okay, what time? I was like, 5 o'clock. Kupi, I'll send location. All right, I'll see you. And he's here with his cup.
Nice.
Right, so ladies and gentlemen, Denny J lovers all over the world, our special guest today is the legend known as Mono, but he was born Clive Mukundu. But he is with us today.
That intro.
No, Mirakan.
Okay, all right.
Oh, okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready to clap.
Oh, goodness.
So let's do it. Let's do it one more time.
Right. No, I'll take off from where I was. Born Clive Mono Mukundu is with us in studio today. But he's not only known as Mono. You can get those dish ready, okay? He is the legend, superstar. Pace it, my guy.
Okay.
Right? Starting again. He is a legend, superstar, guitarist.
Yes, do you know how these things
You
work?
whiskey. Let's go.
Do you know- okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Guitarist, Zim lover, of all things, controversial. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Clive Mono Mukundu. In the building. In the building.
It's been a long time coming. Every time sometimes we ask people what guests they would like us to bring to the show.
Yeah.
And almost always, there's always someone who puts a Mono Mukundu in there. And it's been
his name
for a
has
while.
been,
It's been happening for a while,
Yeah.
people, hey, why don't you bring Mono? So I didn't know what the big deal was, right? Because I've always known Mono, the guitarist.
And that's where you had placed him, and on the music side of things. And you were like, I'm so done with artists. And they were like, dude, Mono.
So then
Mono.
I went
and then
I'm
what happened?
I'm checking out, interviews and stuff that he's done. And I realized this guy is deeper than...
No, he's deep.
Almost all the people we've had on the show.
Yeah.
The way he looks at things and so on. And I think a lot of people share his sort of thoughts, but he's one of those people who's able to articulate it.
He's got a critical view to almost anything.
Yeah.
Most of the times where I would meet him, it would be like at corporate functions. Right? I would meet him at corporate functions and I'll always go up to him and greet him. How are you, Mr. Mono? And then we'll just start talking about what's happening in the room. Yeah. Dude. No.
Elder.
And then he will put in his worth of analysis about what is happening, and within that particular sector, whatever corporate it is, I'll go home and be like, how come I don't think like that? Like, I need to start thinking like that. And so he's good people, so it's going to be an interesting one. Yeah.
So I think, because there are a number of topics that I want us to cover as we go on in the show, especially his views on Christianity, colonial mindset, and all sorts of stuff. So we have lots that we're going to do.
Plenty.
But before we do that, I think maybe let's just cover up the music side of things.
Okay.
For those who don't know, I don't know who doesn't know, but those who don't know about Mono Mukundu, maybe Becky, we can just enlighten them a bit.
All right, but I've discovered that sometimes Wikipedia has like either backdated information. So wherever Wikipedia has left off, Mr. Mukundu will be right here to rectify that. He was born Clive Mono Mukundu and born in 1970. But you're not that old.
53.
Yeah, 53. But I'm turning 54 this year.
Right, okay, 54.
Vampire.
I was
you don't
born
even
on a
look
Tuesday.
like that.
At what time?
Anzi, I was born on a Tuesday. You were born on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. He is a music producer, composer, instrumentalist, and an author. And he's well known for playing the guitar, literally makes the guitar talk. Right. That's exactly what he is known for. He's been active since 1988 until now. He is a husband to one wife, Andy. He's a husband to one wife.
I'm good at hiding.
You're good at hiding. His husband, he is husband to one wife and father to two known children.
Known.
I'll put it at that because maybe we stand corrected. I actually know one of your kids, Tuku. Tuku is Taku ndandotora chimuti. So he's Tariro Nyasha and Takunda.
Tariro Nyasha must be same age with you, and did it?
Really, the 30s. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Salam, dude.
Dara, Peggy has my 30.
I am.
Begachova.
I'm 30 something. I'm 30 something, Nash. I'm in my 30s.
Okay.
Like my last year of being in my 30s. But it's okay.
I don't know why we are saying about the picture.
So according to Wikipedia, you were taught how to play the guitar. And then from then on, after learning like 3 chords or so, you were like, I can do this thing. And then after that, it was self-taught. You can take us through.
I play Don Carlos.
Okay.
First lesson, I think it was on the 22nd of January 1988. By gentleman in the last side. So.
Okay, hold on. 22 January
1988.
At what time? I want you to pick up something. He records, he journals everything. So you actually know even the time, probably.
Yeah, because I started writing journals in Tutoroko High School. Don't go pick up the interest in Tutoroko High School. Because no further kunyora. One of my haters, I got on a few weeks ago. Artificial intelligence. Saka I'm good enough to be suspected with
To be-
artificial intelligence. Ndakafara sereke pandakazvo.
Right.
But I've always loved writing. Kubvira ndiri ku high school.
Nice.
So my life is documented from high school up to today.
Do you still have those journals?
No.
So
I tattered old entire because kudhara tinasina mawe documents, but I still have them, all of them.
So would you advise people today to write journals? I mean, like, so if you do something shady, do you write it in the journal?
I do.
So if your wife could easily find information
my password
from the
again.
journal.
My password.
Or nowadays. But kudara, I'm trying to imagine, Nash, you get up to some, shady
You
stuff.
probably coded. You probably write it
down.
in a code that only you would know exactly. Only today.
Okay.
Plus kudhara kwangu ine mamwe pane mama writing styles angaripo kudhara so yekuti waikwanisa kunyora something kuti munhu achiverenga so aitoona dziri ndimi dzevatumwa,
Right.
but patori information itoripo.
Right.
Saka ndozvimwe ndo mama ndingirina ndaishandisa iweyo.
Oh, yeah.
So ukatobata majournals angu unototarisa pamoso utoona panana sika raba shaka raba shika raba utoziva kuti pane something chakaitika.
Okay.
Wow. All right. So are you going to put those books together?
No, I cut him off, right? He was talking about the journal thing. I just wanted to pick that up because I noticed like you talk with dates. Every time you say something, you know the dates.
So last Saidi, 22 January 1988.
Yeah. We met in Lala Saidi. One of my brothers, Pachurungu, my cousins, but Pachishona, my brothers, Anonzi Regis Chipere. He was a footballer. I'm not a football fan, I'm not a sports fan, but just because Mkomongo Aitama Nango Farango Nonashi Bora. So last Saidi, knows what Dara my time, my baby, to time mirwaga. Kongsnama phone.
Right, of course.
Whether tindera pa iri baby rako. Chika mningina wake kanoti my friends ake anomkwenyera kuti iwe Denny chita mona achingotendera pa.
Kokana code, vamasikaridza code.
Inini yangu code ndichiri kutoiziva. Even up to now mukazi wangu akaenda kuchina. Ndikatoiridza anobuda. Up to now. Anobuda up to now. Takataka kudata Saturday 12 June 1993. But up to now ndikaridza code yanobuda.
12 June
1993. Yatoridza code yo up to now ntobuda. Saka last Saturday anga yosikotemera bebe rake kuwadzana. So for some funny reason, I'm going to side back so I'm going to introduce my name is Clive and I send out the Mono Papa.
Okay.
Because Mono came from one dreadlock and in a row, high school. When I told I wish I could is a guitar teacher. I don't know why I said that because the younger to the bass player. But when my sister told me band to St. Mary's, St. Mary's, so I couldn't get my there was going to baby, chichi, and a bow chichi. So I took a book down the ndopanda kamuza kuti no inini handisanda kugona kuridza ndairiza magitari emagaba aya tiri vadiki kuti vanhu vese vegeneration yangu takaridza magitari emagaba ona saka that age manje I was now 17 unongonyara kuonekwa nemabhebhi manje uchiridza gitari saka pandakamutsanangura akati no you can come kumba kwangu ndosikuita se ndisikokudzidzisa saka mudhara wangu aigara kuunity M kuchitungwiza saka pandaitumwa kuenda kuFees manje ndetanga ndadropa kuSt Mary's first then ndombodzidziswa malines then ndozofamba netsoka kuenda kuunity M. Saka what he managed to do is angonzisa 3 chords pasong inonzi Jai I play here Don Carlos. Saka after nangobata those 3 chords panakangobata the anonzi my fundamentals my basic ningrini ndava nangoshuta like this within a few months ndandautoridza guitar.
Self-taught.
Yeah, nanangu kuti unoona pa TV unoteerera pa radio. Ndandine rimwe jinja rere kuti yeah it's unexplainable. Ndandine jinja rere kudzidza rere kuti within a short time ndandautoridza. Saka after ndagona kuridza manje ndandakwanisa una approach vanhu vane magitari pane vanhu vanova nemagitari mwa anga ari garden boy angapiwa gitari rake na boss wake iye asingagona kuridza. Ndakataura naye kuti ndikudopota ndichidzidzira kuridza kudhara kwangu ina blaz chaiwo kuti kana ari blaz amene zvemapdf zvako mazuva but kuti arangatori blast chacho kuti anenge achitokuprotect kuti blast ndikuda kuridza kutoti imbotora gitari usodzoka naro mangwanani na9 but iwe kana wanzodzoka naro na9 hauchasvika na9 manje usvika na 8:45 to make sure kuti mangwana uite se haunyimwe ona saka wakatrust kuti uri munhu kwaye wakuramba ita se saka ndapedza ndane roster my boys ndandisina rangu guitar ona kuti my first guitar I think ndatoripiwa 3 February 1998 that was my first guitar
like 10 years later
ndapiwa naApostle Manyika ndewe kuimwe chechi inonzi Living Word so
Right.
saka he says kuti God spoke to him kuti guitar iri you must give it to Mono. Nice. I think that's one time I do not believe kuti Mwari akataura because pampesa I don't believe kuti Mwari anoita nyaya nevanhu but papa I believe kuti Mwari akataura so
already
that was the first time ndakapiwa my first personal guitar that was 1998 10 years after ndadzidzira guitar. Nice. So basically that's my early story yekwekutanga.
And getting into producing and all of that at what stage?
Production later. Production is a later development. But first time ndakatanga producer ndakatanga nchita production ye old school yeah. Was production ye old school yanga isiri Amazon akaikuti ndiono create a beat ndiono create artist anoyari one asina band utanga create zvese one kudhara yanga production yekuti unonga uchimira uchimanage time uchimanage the creative process and everything. So even ndakatanga kuita I think around 2001 under yenzi ngavango records ya Elias Msakwa. Right. Was ndamboriza na Elias Msakwa those days. So 2001 after ndajoin Oliver Mtukuzi. Mari kwa Oliver Mtukuzi yanga yakanaka. Right. So I decided kuti nemari yatukutambira yakanaka kudai I think I need to do something chekuti ndokwanisa chinokwanisa kundibhadhara rather than kunakira kuti ndakwira ndege because kwa Mtukuzi ndege taikwira kunge mishikashika. Ona because taingogara ngori mudenga unge shiri. Ona saka ndangofunga kuti I need to do something chinondipa income ndakagara because basa ndingonongopera anytime because magitara ndapinda chinazo zoti hakuna job security. Right. So the first thing that I ndatenga imba within the first year, then after that ndatanga kutenga studio equipment. So pandakatanga kutenga studio equipment manje ndo pandakazotanga kudzidzira modern production.
So imba makatenga muri kwa Tuku.
Imagine.
Yeah.
In 1 year.
Yeah, ndatenga 1 year the first year. Because ngiri kwa Tuku manje Maria choka ndozoti maimbonoridza 30 minutes show per show because he was very international.
Yes.
I think he's the most international artist we've produced in Zimbabwe. Yeah. So my zvazvokuridza usiku wese zvezvaka it's a culture in Zimbabwe because takajera mabira. Because mabira mudzimu unozobuda kwakutoyedza. Because of that manje pamashows ese unotopopoterwa ukapedza gig na 3 but internationally mukaridza 1 hour 2 hours.
What you doing 3 hours?
1 hour 2 hours matopedza and 2 hours memutori neopening act. Samaiti mukangoridza 30 minutes 45 minutes 1 hour mautopiwa chimari chisvini sandasitanda mari ika inokwanisa kutotenga something one I need to do something nemari. So the first year patakatanga kupinda kwa Tuku ndakana machigara mufakos because vazhinji vaiti angojoina such a big band akutogara muflatram town akubudisa mazimari masvinu saka ndakara machigara mufakos so I was able to save money. So within year ndatotenga imba kuWarenburg within first year. So after tatenga imba iyo ndakazoudza mukazonga kuti now we need to start a project inokwanisa kuti bhadhara tikadzingwa because magitara ana job security ndoaziva.
Who was telling you these things? What was it things that you were seeing while you were on the road? Obviously there was someone who was planting these thoughts in your mind.
Did you have a mentor?
Yeah.
Did you have someone who
before I entered the music industry ndakaita kasurvey ona because kudhara research kwainetsa because kwangu kusina Google but I read my books, listened to my interviews. So first thing chandakatanga notice njoti muZimbabwe magitara ana mari.
Okay.
That one ndakatanga ndatochiona udhanisa ndatombopinda. That's why even pandakazopinda pandakaona kuti amuna mari I was not discouraged because mazano we always hear my cry babies that ndakusiya magitare chichi but isusu mai takapinda itozoti amuna mari so it was passion. Ona saka ndatanga ndanotice kuti 1 mara amuna number 2 amuna job security. Because muZimbabwe unenge wakagara so wenda paFacebook wona bandmate wako wanoridza naye totaura kuti we thank God tasvika muSouth Africa kuti ai posikasi ndiye 3 years ago tona ai postwa na 9 makuseni apa it's 10 o'clock uri muZimbabwe basa rinenge ratopera pa because muZimbabwe hauudzwi kunzi basa rapera. It just goes like that. Ona.
Sure.
Saka after that research I knew kuti one Zimbabwe the money is very little. Once waibata at times the highs are very low, the lows are very low.
Okay.
So once wabata mari ita musoro nayo ende ukasvika pari kudyiwa nasoita musoro nabhozi basa anogonopera any minute bhozi pane pakamirirwa navanhu vakawanda. So ndichingopinda muband after the house tava ndati we need a project inokwanisa kuti bhadhara.
But Mkoma, we jumped stages. How did you get to play for Tuku?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. After ndapolisha myself as a guitarist, because my first band ndakatanga kuridza nawo taita auditions kugram pane ainzi auditions kuti mune muchiridza in front of my producer mune muchitoridza live ende zvino muchiita kunge zvimaantichrist so zvakamira 4-5 ende mukangopotsa kuridza maidzingo aka1 bude. Saka with my first band I think tadzongwa more than 10 times.
Shit.
We failed until tisakwanise kufoira anymore nekudzingwa. Second band rakatoparara because of that second band, but failure for the auditions. Third band same thing. So because of kufoira ikoko manje vanga vasingangokudzinga zveutsinye vaitokudza kuti iwo madrums uringoponda ungorongorowa ngoma guitar uringopara natsodzidzira uridza. So I used to take note of my corrections, so I didn't take offense. So because of that I polished myself very well. So even up to now ndokunopedzera album rese without a mistake. Saka because of that ndakatanga kuhaiwa as a session musician. Saka fast forward to 2003, guitarist Oliver Mtukuzain's Pilani to be was a very brilliant guitarist. Varwara. So they couldn't travel naye manje. Ende vanga ine matours aida kuitwa America, Europe chichi. Saka munhu wese wakaibvunza yangotaura kuti look for Mono.
Wow.
Saka Oliver Mtukudzi pane pakauya kuPrince Edward mwana wake same aidzidzo Prince Edward. Inde I was teaching guitar paPrince Edward. Saka akandiona nje aifanira kuperforma neschool band. So I was coaching the band kuti music yatuku inoridzwa so chichi. So he was impressed kuti munhu ari kutonatsoziva music yangu ari kutokocha chi. He didn't say anything but akangoenda achinyararira. Then Debbie Metcalf akapiwa video andairidza pane imwe show na Blessing Mparutsa murume waDudu Manhenga. Then she liked what I was doing paguitar. So zvakaitika manje ndezvoti Tuku aitaura kuti tikashaya anybody else we are going to look for teacher kuPrince Edward where teacher guitar. Then Debbie aiti ndichatsvaga chi munhu ari pavideo yandakapiwa na Blessing Mparutsa. Then vanhu vese vaitaura kuti look for Mono. So they were looking for Mono, they were looking for teacher Prince Edward, they were looking for
And this is one person.
This one person.
Nice.
Saka inini time yo pane chichi yanepinda yana ndakaudzonzwa kwangoridza nemunhu asinganamati chete unopindwa nemadhimoni chichi ende unobva waheduka unoenda kugera unotsva nemoto chichi. Saka pandakanzwa kuti Tuku anonditsvaga was not excited because of doctrine yana ndakapiwa yayo. Then later on Blessing Mparutsa ndakazogara neni pasi akati no Mono, you know what, iwe ndoziva kuti uri munhu anoda kuinvesta kugadzisa future yake. Tuku it's a good investment ukapindako, it pays very well chichi. Saka pandakazofonerwa naDebbie, I think it was 3 February.
Again, another 3 February.
Monday 3 February.
Yeah.
If I'm not
So
mistaken.
3 February is a good one for you, hey? Because 3 February,
Ndopandakapiwa first guitar.
first guitar.
Oh, right. Oh, you remember that?
I'm
Yeah, I
trying,
think
man.
une good memory.
Very good.
I try.
Wakaipa mwana.
I try.
Saka nikirini pandakafonerwa Blessing abva andisimbisa akati no enda kwaTuku. Saka the following day Debbie wacho akandifonera very polite. Chikumbura kuti uye kurihesa uchichi pandaenda negita rangu. Saka ndakazojoina band I think 4 February 2003 ndopandakajoina kwaTuku.
The next day.
The next day, in fact, Tuku was very quiet. Akasingataura. Because pandakapinda practice album rinonzi Nhava rera. No, rinonzi Tsivo. So he would just play a song. Obati pinda neguitar rako. One. Saka inini being a session musician, pfungwa dzangu dzinofunga ahead. As soon as I hear something chitorera, brain dzangu dzinza to calculate the chord progression, the tempo, the time signature. Ndaiva ndatopinda neguitar line kudara. Saka banakidzwa manje kuti album rese rakatongopera chingodaro. So anatombondiudza kuti wapinda mubhendi kana kuti chi, never said anything. He was just happy and vangotanga kunditreata bo. So zvakatondivengesa futi izvozvo. Ndasingazivi zvinovengesa kufarirwa
Farirwa. Of course.
So answering your question, that's how I joined the band.
And how old were you when you joined?
1970 to 2003, that's how How old? 23. No, 33.
33.
33. I was 33, yeah.
And you played in the band for how long?
I was fired 2007. February foot.
I like how you said I was fired.
It's reality. Inini I'm a realist. Ora ndiri kunyepera vanhu kuna kusifaya manyepo I just left here. I just felt I need to leave. I was fired.
You were late for rehearsals.
No,
you
I'm
constantly
never
drunk?
late. Ndofuna matona nhasi kuti I'm never late.
But now you've grown up.
No, even I was always like this. I was always.
So why
like
were
this.
you fired?
Hatinambobvira taudzwa the reason, but
Asi makafaiwa makawanda.
takadzimwa tiri 7, including the
Chairi
manager.
band yacho.
Band rese rakadzimwa, the whole band.
Natuku ere? Or by the manager or by
Who
who?
was the manager?
Manager anenge angori the band cop waband leader. Zvafana nepaband chapo ukasvika pagedhi mamonya akaubata rafuka haisi decision yavo. Band
Yes.
leader ndiyatotaura kuti
Uye ngasapinda.
ndiyasapinda. Saka hameno zvakaitika ipa, but what I know is pakabuda matheories akawanda. We don't know which one to believe. Saka imwe yaiti hanzi pakanzi maprofessionals awandisa ndabve titsvage vapfana vachangobva kuchikoro vane jinja rekungokwira ndege. Kuti mufana anenge achangobva kuchikoro anonzi une passport here tokuenda kuspain, mufana ngonakirwa kuti kuspain abvunze mari. Maprofessionals manje tinchida mari dzedu manje. Saka I don't know if that's the reason. But the good thing manje is even after ndabuda mband Natuku became even closer friends. Even after he passed away, akatoziti udzoka uband nzo because ainditi mufundisi ndemti mudikoni one. Nza mufundisi amusida kudzoka uband mudikoni. Zvakaitika paipai hatichazive manje kuti chii chinozoitika, but I'm a black spirits for life. Ndo statement ndakamudza manje that I'm a black spirits for life. Anytime I'm not need, I'm there. And after that, even pese paita birthday yake like pakatena 60 ndakatouya ndikaridzira iye, ndikaridzira Yuma Sekela, ndikaridzira Ringo, ndikaridzira Dorothy Masuka, ndikaridzira everybody else. So we remained very takatoita closer. And the funny thing manje ndechekuti akatozondishedza pakari paizvo kanzi ko mufundisi ndikunzwa kuti muri kumwa doro. Tata mudikoni pese pataishanda pese pandaimwa. And he never knew kuti ndaimwa.
How did you hide it?
Ndaisa mukendere koko.
But masikazodhakwa here
Kudhakwa nayo it's obvious unongodhakwa, but iye aitongofunga kuti inspiration munhu ari kunakirwa. Ane inspiration apa ndiye ndakatobatwa heavy.
Mukuru, saka muri mband umu, how were you handling my humans? Because muna madhampadenga, but muri popular mukutraveler around the world.
mababy,
Mababy ari kukutsvagai, abo you look young. Maiba controller seya.
Yeah, that's a good question because music kuna anonzi magroupies.
Yeah.
It's a word hanzi rakagadzwa neband rinonzi the Rolling Stones in America. Magroupies, it's women who throw themselves at musicians. They are not prostitutes. Some are gainfully employed. Ncharungoda ngorarana chiti trophy yengoti ndarara na Denny J, ndarara na Derek Mpofu. Those are rungoda chiti. One. And pari trick manje because for usually masikiro akaita vanhu vechirume Denny J unoziva to say no to sex is very difficult. That's human nature.
Why are you making excuses?
Facts you might think they're excuses, but human nature is not innocent.
It's a fact.
Human nature is not innocent.
Men find it difficult to say no
to sex.
To sex.
It's very difficult.
So when you find people like us big, you say no. It's
special.
No, zoti munhu wese ane type yake. Kunoda madhafu, kunoda kuti maskini, kunoda unogona kuzisimbisa kuti anondiribo. I don't ningirine because pauya mbeu isiri yako. Pauya mbeu yako checha unonyepa iwo. Even on his under the one magitari muri promiscuous ka. Hana munhu ari kumusona. Wasonwa ni type yako checha. Ndo paticha prove. Because pane pambo kuti ndora ndiribo. Hauna mari yekufanda ma temptations ako. Uinayo mari yacho yekufanda ma temptations ako ndo paticha prove. Bozi vafana kuti nini ndokunoti this week ansomadoro motikari mangu ndinaro. That's self control. Kwete kuti iwo wabroka wadzingwa basa utatira ndichamwe doro aiwa wadzingwa basa hauna mari yekutenga doro. Wana buda pachena. Saka coming back to your point. Ndakapinda magitari 1988. Tanga unazoita ma shows. I think it was around 1989, 1990. And ndakapinda nchizviti inini handite zvakati best friend wanga ngari drama ainzi Ronald Mushaba wamutare so saka takabvumirana naRonald Mushaba kuti isu hatiri zvemaprostitutes tiri mababy because mababy anda tactic anda skill yekunyenga.
Okay, so the difference prostitutes and baby.
Because prostitute ungosvika kuti imari kana unongoti ndei $5 short time at $20 night watoburitsa hapana skill. Saka takabvumirana naRonald Mushaba kuti isusu tinoshandisa skill hatidi maprostitutes toda unatso sota baby unatsotaura naro svika wawina chichi but miedzi inouya mazadiwa bozi I think it was 19 takaenda 1990 takazoenda kutsvingwe apa ndoda ngozvi point ndinopindura question yako. First time ndakataka kupinda so ndakabva nenzi nezi STI nga pane ma STI anochinja step ka unotanga uchavanza so uchafamba boch kutsvada kuvanza so but step inopedzera ichinja then wenda hospital manje vaida kuhumiliate manje kune kanesi kari chiki so kuti mukwasha dambudziko nderei
achidedzera
ndinesike aiwa taurisa handisi musikana wako kani naso taurisa ndinesike aiwa nazotaura apa mukiu munizi kiu unoziva mamhomzi mamuya masekuru dzichichichi nazotaurisa kuti dambudziko rako nderei apa uri kunyara kuti ndinesike bcause yainzi siki maSTI ainzi siki 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 ona wohumiliate kwawo waitwa sei then pane injection yaibaiwa so waitanga wabvunza nzi mambo udya here
because it will sort you out.
Kana usina kudya nzi mbonotsvaga sadza udya sadza then kana wadzoka manje I still remember everything because pampani the first half yanga iri transparent the other half yanga iri whitish so and ndofunga ranga ri Jackson remombe chere because waiti ukaribayiwa because rabaiwa half ku left half ku right after about 5 to 10 minutes waitanga kuona rima so even wadya sadza waitanga kuona rima so when saka first time ndakambotaura ndati from now I will never go back. I'm going back to my original principles in my baby chawa and ndakaita then after that vatamova to tantiri kutsvingwa vatamova to Mutare takuridza padanga mvura hotel padanga mvura hotel mufesi wangu Ronald waine mababy ndozoti kana uine ruchiwa unoita quick diagnosis so kuti turibout hatingamboite chirwere quick diagnosis yemaziso so then patangopinda nemufesi wangu akatora kamukacho mvandotora kamukacho within some days unonzwa unyerekedzwa so
wakuvaviwa
ndawezvomana kechidzokera futi kumanesi mukwasha muri kurunzwa iyo taurisa matanga kutukwa futi matanga kuita sei mautanga kubayiwa mazinjection emombe aya then after that manje what I did ndangodza mafriends angu ndati guys anyway kana paina nda kuseka you can go ahead and laugh I'm going to abstain until I got married and I did that. So I abstained until I met my wife on Saturday, the 12th of June, 1993. June. Up to now, tichiri on. So that's how I avoided. And the papa knows my face ango every morning. Munisa ngachiwe kuti ukona chidhaveri chanjiri papa. Ndinda baba yanachoka ndasoenda kazora ukona kaita makara ndinda indina ngolaxa so now to it wachi ngakapusa but I'm the only surviving member.
But elder. Because it's like it's like you can ongo chita zvema drugs haungo mukongo utika andakumira.
No, but dude, this was twice. He was hit twice.
Look,
what, twice any enough?
I'm saying yes, okay, he was hit twice, but twice is not that much for my time I survive. Because if you are someone aneruchiva achungobaya because uruchwa by Jackson. Elder ungangoti
andishada mababy spec rekwamutare nerekulondon nekwaamerica rakasiyana
pamama kuzofamba paelder
mapropa machini
apana kuti tagara neFBI chaizvoinonzi FBI but that's a good niki point manje because after ndaabstaina paipa ndakazoita mukristu manje 94. Tuesday 20 June 1994. I became a Christian. Ndakupinda uzaija and ipam ndandiri Sunday. Denny ndakunopinda udenga nchifamba Denny.
Right.
Ndandiri straightforward.
Enoch.
Yeah, Enoch unomza. Ndandiri straightforward. So ndandiri toribo. Even pandakapinda kwatuku ndandiri that level. Ona. Saka kwatuku manje kwainetsa kuti kwatuku kana paine band ranga rine madhimoni emiedzo kam kwatuku kamwe medzo. Bozi waiti baby richitamba mukrowd zori kangokupa sign yekudayo. Atondi kuda namba yako. Ukangogutsurira even nyangu kuine security nemazimonyo akaita sei. Waimona akaumira ubeki koko. Bozi inozoza modern technology kam munhu akakupa namba matomurume nemukadzi. And even pamunoenda kuroom hapana kutombobvunzana zita akaunti chichi unogona kuzobvunza zita kuswera mangwana. Maybe mimba yatobata. Ona. Saka ndapinda kwatuku ndatone maprinciples akabva ku time because those principles ndakabva ndatoa maintain. I maintain those principles. Even if you ask my guys ekwamtukudzi, I was very principled when it comes to those issues.
Yachabvunza Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Kazuri wokupiri udini.
Bobby ndewedu from
I was in primary school with him.
Oh. Yeah, Bobby manina Bobby. Pane time patakatanga kupinda mugospel 1994. Madrama anga very few, my lead guitarist anga very few. Because vazhinji vairiza magitari kuchechi vangu kuti nguchi amene zvairiza so nge masganda. So vainatsvaridza my lead guitar chaiyo tandiri very few. In fact ndakatombotanga ndiri one. That's why I played for a lot of them. Sana Bobby, we ended up very close because most of my band I hire Bobby, they would hire me. So most mvunzi.
Is this Bobby the drummer?
Yeah.
The big guy.
And,
Clive.
You
guys know Clive?
Yeah, I was in the same primary school.
No way.
Even pandakatopinda first show andikaridza kwatuku. First show ndasina kupractice. Because pandakapinda kwatuku aigadzira album rake rinonzi Tsivo. Sati yangu practice ma songs epatsivo. Because Pilan anga recover. Then first show payakazoitwa yandakazoshedzwa inini. Ndansanda practice any of my old songs vese vanaziwere vana chichi vaya. Saka pangonzi Pilana atorwara zvokuti haasi kutombokwanisa kuyashonda kuti how do I play? Tanchingopuradzidza Tsivo pese apa zvakanzi no ameno unondongoona. Saka Bobby ndiyaitonditipa titori pashow kuti kwidza dzika chichi show yese yakapera ndakatongotarisa Bobby so achitonditipa. Saka tukaitwa kwandiri kuti zive rona iziva ndoti ndoinoti mbambiri apanzi ndotry mbichana so abo knows as a session musician brains dzako zenziri kumberi.
To be alert,
Yeah. I noticed also.
So Bob is the rescuer.
Oh, nice. I noticed on your YouTube page you have a documentary that you did. I don't know if you call it documentary. There's a lot of backstage footage. Is this how you've always operated? You have a lot of behind the scenes footage of you and Tuku from the time you traveled together. I think Bako, we should be able to show at least one of those clips. He'll give it to us. Is this how you've always documented your life this way?
Yeah, kungoti kudhara makamera inetsa kuwana. Kwangu ine vainzi vana makamera ameneka makavaziva. I don't know ngokura here. Vainzi makamera vaifamba vakarembedza makamera muhoro. So
ana mogeni mdara mogeni.
Ukutore mapicture pamonzi atsva. Ukutore mamwe futi. But saka pakatanga kupinda technology yemakamera machichichi manje ndabva nangoita jumping because I'm old but handidi kusara.
Right.
Ona saka pangotanga kupinda mavideo ndabva ndatotenga yangu. Saka pesi pataitofamba natuku ndansingadi kucapture epastage because munhu wese anawo ndaida kucapture ebackstage nchiratidza vanhu vachifara vachifarisa because like Tuku aitomhetongeka mwana kadiki kutongeka baby chaiko so saka ndo footage yandaida because I knew kuti hapana nayo. Some first days people didn't understand me in band vaitopopota kuti haiwa dzoka nechikamera chako
But now when they look back
after manje band rapera mudhara azoshaya vakatanga kundinetsa zvokuti tipo maningenda do you remember maisimbondituka imimi nenyaya this camera. So I've always loved documentation because I noticed that as Africans usually we don't document stuff. That's why I love writing things down. I like keep my dates and everything. So those are the guaranteed tongori up to now. What you got on Facebook page pangu nutona even Japanese mandakatanga murecord 2009 achinenzara achiri kuya ne friend yakainzi Mr Nice so wachiwa netsoka so nditori naye footage yo hope masiki nchitanga murekodha akachiri kaskini Alex Yokawara acho yakapfeka katai kunge ticha wekureserva so ndinayo footage yese. So I've always loved documenting stuff.
Nice. Let's come to the state of our music today. You talk a lot about how we no longer have record companies like how we used to back in the day. What is your sense of where our music is today?
Yeah, at the moment, to Ramane, the laws of the jungle, right now we don't even have a single record label in Zimbabwe. What we have is my studios. Was a studio in the record labels in Tuzakasian. And there are some studios that want to offer some record label services,
right? Which
is okay. They're doing very well. We appreciate that. But they're not record labels.
What is the difference? What is the fundamental difference between a studio?
Record label itori company chayo kuti munhu anotouya akatopfeka sutu angoinga marketing yealbum raartist ningi atouya akatopfeka sutu angomirira radio plugging. Poita vamwe vari kudepartment rakati vamwe vari kudepartment rakati. How record labels operate is they record you for free. It's not free. That's when there's some codes. It's on loan. I still love offering.
Kuti when your music hits.
Kana music yako yatengesa, they take their money invest pauri from my sales. So usually they take something like 85% UOP or 15%, then producer OP or 2%, and my producer points. Then everybody is happy. I want to say, 15%, but at times it's better to copy 2% a million than to copy 100% of $2.50.
Yeah. So are you an advocate of that old system? Because nowadays it's so much easy for an artist to have a breakthrough. Back in the day, like you mentioned, it was so hard for you to get into this industry. Right. You had to go in front of some old people who had to approve. If the system was like that today, do you think we would have an Enzo Aishal, we would have all these youngsters who are really rocking today?
Okay, first of all, it's not an old system. Because right now, as we speak in Nigeria, they still have it. States, they still have it.
Oh, no, I mean all days in Zimbabwe. Why?
So, fire music right now. They still have that system in my record labels. And but many man structures. In my record labels, they operate scientifically. So you're going to check my numbers. But shanda chi. So you're going to even from history. Zimbabwe music industry yakatanga 1930. The music industry in 1930. So I'm going to check out from 1930 up to now. Because each country in a mamirra. One got to example you Nigeria, example South Africa, say Yeminika menu, which is Zimbabwe from 1930 up to now.
And bring that back.
Yeah, one waka export Zimbabwe. One going to my elements happy per music zabo. One wakangotendera muno muZimbabwe wasina kwakaenda wanga my elements api. You need to look at things scientifically. Mchitasa data. One and those music zvakanakira my record labels. So coming back to your question, my record labels, the difference between time my record labels and now. My record labels anga ine wanga atingati my gatekeepers yokuti wanga usingakwanisa kupinda unless wapinda through them. Right. But ninye social media, digital technology and everything.
Is that not better?
No. Pantoda swika ndepekuti tane both options. But you technology, usually technology eliminate zvakudhara. This one is no eliminate. But ukataza pakatanga ma pictures are still. Because I am moving pictures. One wakatofunga kuti hapa so pane moving pictures ayakudhara asina basa, but no, up to now tichino still pictures.
Yeah.
One saka technology usually doesn't do away nezvakudhara. Yakufane pabariko. Dara vausa hapana kwavaenda. Vausa yaramba varipo mainini woya vanenge vatotishwa navausa kuti zvinofambiswa so. But mazano modernity munoti pakauya mainini vausa ndavabaya. That's a topic for another day. But ndandoda kuti the new system did not do away the old system. Vanhu vazhinji vanofunga kuti just because tane social media marecord labels asina basa. That's a lie. Because even internationally, very under my record labels, one of the biggest YouTube views, one the biggest everything, one funding. Because music, politics, you might have the best policies, but campaign, campaign. So music is not about talent; it's about strategy. that's why chinochi times munhu asina chipo sana Bob Dylan wanoimba kunge vari kutaura they are millionaires but tinawo mwana wanoimba kunge Satan wasina mari.
Yeah. I'm looking at it from a point of view of, say, Grammar Records or ZMC. These were, I don't know if you would call them boutique labels or whatever, because they had no international distribution. So I'm looking at the Zimbabwean situation, not Universal Records or any of the big record companies which are able to give you distribution worldwide. But looking at the Zimbabwe situation, if we had ZMC today or Grammar, a lot of the youngsters who are rocking now wouldn't be there. And even if they did have deals, they'd be getting peanuts. So I'm looking at a situation where you have these new studios that have popped up, Another Chill Sport and all these little young guys. Because nowadays you can easily create a song, post it, and make it go viral. And also nowadays people don't buy CDs anymore. You understand? So it's a lot of streaming that's going on. Even if you look at our youngsters now, they'll come up with a hit, they'll post it on all the international outlets online, and then their music is being sold like anywhere else. So when you're looking at it from a Zimbabwe perspective, not international, Zimbabwe perspective, the way these guys are doing it, is it not better?
It's not.
Than if they had Grammar or ZMC? Because Grammar would take the chunk of the money. They wouldn't give them international distribution.
Activity is not progress. Oh, no. Just because it doesn't mean you are making progress. Activity at times it's even chaos. Oh, no.
What would Grammar do for Enzo Aisha, for example, Bafana Amazon today?
All right. Have you noticed that during the time here analog yana Grammar, we had more international artists than now. We had Thomas Mapumo, Oliver Mtukuzi, Andy Brown, Choniso Marere, Stella Chiweshe, Bundu Boys. We had a lot of international artists. Bundu Boys yakatonosia stage na Madonna, wakata collab na Donny Williams, wakatorita Wembley Stadium. Thomas Mfumo akata breakthrough internationally, Oliver Mtukuzi akata collab.
Do you attribute that success to ZMC or Grammar or just
yes.
Fantastic artists?
No. It had my record label mukati because my record labels they also offer guidance. Like they would look at numbers, they would go my shops on check my numbers with my songs are happy because you know hype ne success at times into zakasiana hype at times go by picture you don't but personally like the activity is not progress right now. Do you notice since 2000 Pama 2000 years, do you know the only international artist what in ichi Mukomba period. Wamwese kana chikwera ndiko ronorizira maZimbabweans ku UK.
Say it like it is.
Saka ningirini we cannot call that international. Because vanhu vazhinji vanofunga kuti being international you have to sound like Beyonce, you have to sound, we are also part of the international community as Zimbabweans. Saka
so
whatever
take the
we
Zimbabwean
do,
sound
whatever
outside.
we do tikazvita up to class is international. And the international community manje kana ichida kumarketa chinhu look at two things, originality and authenticity. Originality is sounding like yourself, authenticity is sounding like where you come from. And before kana ku Germany wachishedza dance artists from Kinshasa kana ku Tanzania kana Botswana kana rumba artists from Tanzania wanda achibva DRC kwazvakabva. They will never call what do you call it? Music in Nigeria Afrobeats artists from Swaziland. Because one does from Nigerians. That's why even up to now, today Afrobeats has taken over the world. But Maruzia Tora the world yet. Man Nigerians. Amapiano is taken over the world. Maruzia Tora South Africa.
What's that girl from South Africa, the one who won a Grammy? What's her name?
Tyler.
Tyler is from South Africa, but she's doing very well in a genre that is not South African. What do you have to say about that?
That's a very good point. I like that point. Akonama statistics as nama exceptions. And you can never use my exceptions as my examples. The exception is not the rule. My Jews, they are rich people. Does that mean that my Jews are sinamari?
Okay, so
kanditaura zvafana mushonga ukashanda 2% unoraswa unonzi haushande. Mushonga unonzi unoshanda unoappruvwa. Mushonga washanda over 90%. Mushonga warapa vanhu vakawanda. Saka tikatotaura kuti zvafana muno muzimbabwe. I always tell my youngsters kuti tichitarisa from 1930 up to now vanhu vatengesa kunze kwenyika vanhu vanga vaine a Zimbabwean sound. But does that mean kuti hatina one womunhu Rosalamira akamborirawo somewhere tinaye? But vangani manje? Because kana ari 1 out of a million, that's not success. That's failure.
So out of the crop of youngsters now, we don't have anyone who can make it internationally because they're not playing Bira or they don't have a Zimbabwean sound.
That's a very good question. I like that question. Right? Sounding Zimbabwean doesn't mean you have to play the Mbira, Pachayo. You don't have to sound like Thomas Mafuma. You don't have to sound like Oliver Mtukuzi. You can even create a new sound. Yemuno Zimbabwe. That's why we need a digital sound. Yemu Zimbabwe. We need an organic sound. Yemu Zimbabwe. Tinayo kudara. Mbira. Wana. Sungura isiru ndegu Kenya. Inonzi benga music.
Yeah.
They are not Kanindo. Kanindo rangatori stara producer. I see music. Ainzi. Fares Oluchi Kanindo. Yangatori sene. Durangatori stara. So Kanindo is not the type of music. Is it a producer?
Okay.
Producer
so Sungura is not out.
Mira ndishike koko. Kanindo imanje anga ine ma record labels akasiyana. One of the record labels ends Sungura. Sungura zvinora kuti tsuro in Swahili. Because tsuro inomhanya, Kanindo inomhanya. Saka makomunities pakatanga kuenda Sungura nemusic yacho muZimbabwe, benga music yacho vakafunga kuti inonzi Sungura. Vamwe vakafunga kuti inonzi Kanindo because pamakanyora nzi Kanindo, but Kanindo is a producer. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Point yandinoda kutaura ndeyekuti izvo.
Okay.
Ndeyekuti izvo. For you to break through internationally, you need to have a Zimbabwean sound. Saka ndandiri kuti izvo ukatarisa nyika dzese dziri kufire right now, they've got an organic sound yemunyika mavo and a digital sound yemunyika mavo. Totanga Nigeria vane Afrobeat without an S yaitwa naFela Kuti.
Right.
Then yakazoitwa navafana yaiti Afrobeats with an S. Vakatora sound yaFela Kuti here vavaidigitalize. Some elements from dancehall, some elements from hip hop. I was in Jamaica in February, and my Jamaicans I thought, Afrobeat yakavakatira avarukunyepa vanambobva kwavari. Afrobeats yakabva pana Fela Kuti. That's why Bena Boy chigara ine necklace ina Fela Kuti akasimudza maoko. So bozi Fela Kuti ndo baba weAfrobeats, but yake yanga iri Afrobeat. Ona. Then saka vane Afrobeat yekofela iya ichiri kuridzwa namanje, then vane Afrobeats iri digital. Tikaenda kuSouth Africa vane maafro jazz vane mbacanga, then vane amapiano iri digital. Ndiani? Ndeyavo. Tikaenda kuJamaica vane roots reggae yana Bob Marley. Ndiani? Ndeyavo. Vane dancehall. Ndiani? Ndeyavo. Hande ekuZimbabwe munechi of course mbira tinadzo ndedzedu atirambe we are happy about it. Hande digital sound we've got dancehall. Ndiani? Ndiye maJamaicans. We've got Afrobeat. Ndiani? Ndiye maNigerian. We've got amapiano. Ndiani? Ndiye maSouth Africans. Ufunga nongaridza amapiano kupfuura muSouth African? Never. Ufunga nongaridza Afrobeats kupfuura muNigerian? Never. Mune muchinyeperano. Wana. That's why chona tine a lot of our fana vanoti ndakuita music because vakapinda vasina research. Ungopinda ende ndine muzukuru wangu mwana anoda amapiano seka anonzi Place Chipikire. Ndakamudza ndati muzukuru tarisaone even pakafire rumba muZimbabwe. Ndiopi muZimbabwe artist akaita mari nerumba takaita wana Peter Tangwena tikaita mwenzi Marakashi ndikatoridza naye ndichiridza lead guitar tikaita mwenzi Kwasa King ndikatoridza nawo. Takakumwa ine nzara pane pamba takafirwa nemota tiri hamene kumautske tikapedza takugocha chibage chiwaridzi chekubafuti tatoba minde yevanhu tikakwara nenzara but kana bongo manaita kwa muno maitora mari yese. Saka zvinoitika what I'm getting to is maZimbabweans vane habit yekuti vakatanga kufarira a certain genre from a certain
They want to adopt it.
vanoida ichiridzwa maridzi vayo. Imi mukada kuiridza munongogona kungoridza as a place holder. Vakamirira vadzidzivai kuti vaisikotora mari munomu. Vanosikoitora zvishoma. Vanakanda Bongman vana Pepe Kale vaisikotora mari yerumba munomu muZimbabwe. Vana Peter Tangwena right now achiri kutengesa maCDs. Ari kutambura haana kana cent. Ona. Amapiano vese vari kuita amapiano muZimbabwe. Ndiopi one ndipe Denny je ndipe one we amapiano akaita mari muZimbabwe. Afrobeat vera pakatanga kuridzwa muno muZimbabwe Afrobeat here. Ndipe one akanatsoita mari nayo. Ndakakwira ndega achinoridzira kuSpain kusina mazimba.
But vafana vari kukopera kuJamaica yacho voitwa nelocal language. They are doing well.
For local. That's what he's saying.
That's a very good point. I like that point. I always tell people to plan strategy A, strategy B, strategy C. Don't use strategy B expecting my results is strategy A. kandoziuza strategy A and expect my results strategy B. Danzo ukairidza muZimbabwe uchiti Zim danzo uchimba neshona kana patwa yekunyepa it's fine. Azachata muno muZimbabwe unoita mari. Muno muZimbabwe unoita mari handiri kunyepa and that's a good thing and sure I'm not dissing anybody. It's nice. But ndege unokwira uchinoridzira maZimbabweans chete. And I'm not saying that it's bad. I hope murundi bari papa. I'm not saying it's strategy B. Then strategy A pane mazhonda zekuti ukaridza unokwanisa nokwira ndege uchinoridza kuSpain kusina kana muzimba kana one. Pane mama types of music.
Is that the aim? That when you say you're an international artist, you're going to play your music for people who are not from your country?
Ndozvinoreva international. Because inter means
because there's plenty artists who fly and they go and they play in the UK, but
international. They are local artists who are playing overseas.
Who are playing overseas.
No, but I see playing overseas for Zimbabweans means nothing.
Means nothing.
So mkomoti ndanoridza kuSpain chono takaipa here kana
ndokuti international kwacho.
Ngatichimbotaisa kuti vakaridza kunana Spain, kunana France, kunana Germany kusina mazimba ndevapi.
Mama taura iwavo. Stella
chiwechi. Chioniso marere. Chioniso ndakatova naye after ndadzingwa kwaMutukudzi. Taizadza kuGermany so. Musina kana muzimba kana one so. Ndochiti kuona flag yeZimba pane one kamunhu kari kukona unoita kumerera so kutofara munotone muzimba unongatone nzara yekuona mazimba nzara yekutombotaura ushona nzara yekudya sadza saka point yandotaura I'm not dissing anybody ende vanhu they always mistake me panotaura nyaya kutaura kuti izvo depends kuti unoda kushandisa strategy A here kana unoda kushandisa strategy B saka kana uchida kurira muZimbabwe muno muZimbabwe I always say kuti the formula for local success and for airplay in Zimbabwe is to sound foreign. But the formula for international success is to sound Zimbabwean.
Okay, so in sounding Zimbabwean, I'll give the example of Fela Kuti. Fela Kuti played a lot of the talking drum in his music, which Burna Boy puts also when he's doing his beats. Bringing it to Zimbabwe, the mbira is still our sound, or do we have other instruments that we can include to give us that Zim sound?
Yeah, I like my questions and what up. You are very intelligent on it. But I like your questions.
Oh my God.
Right, Becky? I wish kuti muZimbabwe we also organic sound tonight. By organic I mean it's not fair,
right?
Then by digital we mean it's not gazorama beats chichi. This is fire right now around the world. They've got an organic sound.
Yes, and you can tell
digital sound. That Niger sound here, Afrobeats here. You can tell what is Nigerian.
True.
And right now that sound here Netsa. I was in Jamaica in February. My Jamaicans, they are feeling threatened now. Because hakuna chinhu chinotengesa internationally more than being different.
True.
And the easiest way to being different ndekungova yourself. Ukaudza ngokopa anybody ungoita yourself unotoita different and you are easy to sell because you are different. Ukangokopa somebody you become a cheaper version of that person. And a cheaper version zvavanda ukakopa macheso kana ukakopa japreza. It's good for a high school show. It's good for a primary school show. Kamwana kari grade 3 kokwira pastage kusound ngejapreza zvio zvinonakidza. But kana wakura manje wapinda pa same stage najapreza anokutunga ukabuda mudanga. So point yandotaura kutaura ndeyekuti izvo muZimbabwe tine problem yekukopa. That's our biggest problem. We always want to copy. And ukata travel around the world nyika dzinoita kuprotecta maartists avo nekuprotecta zvinhu zvekunze. So kustates they will never play music yabva kuZimbabwe. It's not because yakashut up. But I was allowed to vote chingwa pa muromo wema-artists avo. But muZimbabwe, DJ Ando Big Onzu yakapingwa arudza the latest from Cardi B, arudza the latest from murume waRihanna anonzani mfana. Auto big one because of that. But kunzoko they are busy protecting. Ndofunga it comes back to colonialism. Yatambotaura because colonialism inonza self-hate. You hate yourself. You don't even know you are hating yourself. You just find yourself out that I don't listen to local music. I don't follow Zimbabwe. That's self-hating in subconscious. But point you out on the for us to make it internationally, we need to sound Zimbabwean. And handisi kutaura kuti Zambira.
Okay.
Handisi kutaura kuti tedzera Thomas Mupfumo. Handisi kutaura kuti tedzera Oliver Mtukudzi. You can even start something new. Ilanga yakauya something new. It was not Sungura. It was not Mbira. It was not Thomas Mupfumo. But it was something new. It was very Zimbabwean. Unfortunately, vakafa vese vakapera kushaya vese. But they had a new sound. And we've got a very good many examples. Dzivanhu vakaunza new sound. So my point is, why don't we have
Midnight Magic, was that a new sound? Midnight Magic.
The new sound is both ukatira character apa kuine a digital sound paruridzo guitar chero. So vanhu vakaita sana Midnight Magic, vakaita sana Ilanga, vanhu vakaita sana Talking Drum. Vanhu vakaita sana, we have got a number of examples vanhu vakaunza a digital sound which was very Zimbabwean.
Talking Drum, they were Take Me to the River. Who was that guy?
That's Michael Lanas. That's
Michael
a classic
Lanas.
song. So yakabuda madhezi andaidzidzira guitar. Every time I hear the song ndotoremember
Ndichidzidzira guitar.
But paini yandoda kusimbisa ndeyekuti
Yes, sound.
we need our own digital sound yemuzimbabwe. Hatisina kukopa kuSouth Africa. Amapiano is not ours. Niger, whatever, Afrobeats, I see
not
yedu.
ours.
We will never beat varidzi vayo. Vese vari kuiridza right now. Ask me 5 years from now. Hapana anengakwira ndega chinoridza kuSpain kana uchi. Vese vamwe vacho the majority of them vanonga kuita music. Because hazvisi zvedu. You cannot compare nevaridzi vazvo. And one thing unoziva chinoitika. Zvafana reggae music here. It sounds simple and ingonzi chukwa marastameni achingosheka malocks avo. It's not that simple. Kana yakuridzwa nevaridzi vayo haupakwire pastage iwo. Ukazviti unoridza reggae. I've played now because I've had the opportunity of traveling over 30 countries. Nemusic chat. Ona. Ukazviti unoridza rock yo.
Andaridze chinishwa mukomana wangu.
Poridza.
I ignore 30 countries.
For God.
Ukazviti unoridza a certain genre. Poya varidzi vayo.
Unogara pasi.
Beki.
You'd be like, no, sit down.
haupakwire pastage handisi kuda kunyebera haupakwire pastage chinhu chese and iwo manje ukazokwirawo pastage uchiridza zvenyu vanomererawo futi. But the problem yedu Zimbabweans, we hate ourselves. We always feel kuti zvedu. Pane imwe show yandakamboenda Denny, pakauya mumwe guitarist wekuSpain, so achiridza zvekumusha kwake, so hamene zvairidza achiridza umbori wagitari unge ngoma chichichi. Nandakagara nemwe face wangu guitarist kanzi Mono ini handiridzi gitari ini. Ndazva nezviri kuridzwa apa ndati no ini ndoridza manje iwo kana usingaridzika ini ndinoridza uyo ari kuridza zvekumusha kwake iye akauya kwandiri ndomuridza zvekumusha kwangu and coincidentally akauya kustudio kwangu nachioniso saka dheri akauya chioniso was not in a good mood. Chioniso was aiti kana ari mood kana asuda haasi kuda saka angouya hamenophone kwaye angoreseva vandarara you know what I'm no longer in the mood iworidza gitari rako ndozosara nchiimba. So this guy is international. I'm no longer in the mood. Saka mfeso yabva angoridza gitari bhati ndakanzodori guitarist.
Tinzwa.
Ngatimboridzei. Saka ndanatsocalculate ndikatanga kuridza jazz ndeipi jazz yanomuridzira. Ndatanga kuridza rock ndeipi rock yanomuridzira. Fortunately, I'm proud to be Zimbabwean. But ndanga kuridza maputa angu kindondu. Nozoti akabuda panze akanoshedza driver akati iwe yaunzwa maridziro ari kuita gitari. I've never hit gitari chiri zodai. Chiridza zvinhu zvemuno muZimbabwe. Akatozondikumbira uridze paalbum rangu. But maZimbabweans takagarira gold. But ndomwefunga takagarira chidombo. Ona saka ndikuti kwafana, please let's come up with our own digital sound, our own organic sound. We need our own digital sound. Isiri amapiano aisi edu, isiri afrobeats isiri dance aisi edu. Part ya nonyemberana guys, I was in Jamaica. Part ya kataro hapana kana one way downloads kana one way Denny. One way dijara hapana.
Saka master H zvaruti.
Zana na wana dems ya ndio kunyemberana.
Okay, it's okay.
Hakuna.
Next question.
Pane inonzi yenzi vayati machivanzi keynote speech yakaipiwa na anzani with the Fugees anzani Wycliffe yeah angari ku conference.
I think it's the only one who's known by my Fugees.
Yeah.
And Lauren Hill.
Lauren Hill the biggest.
Come on now, Becky.
No, I'm saying every time when listen, every time when people say Weku Fugees, it's always Wycliffe that is spoken about. Why don't people ever mention Lauren Hill then?
Big.
Although she's big.
Big Chinemians panapa.
Ah, suka.
Tozita.
Suka. Anyway, go on.
Muzitaro momuri. Saka ningiri Wycliffe akapa keynote speech. Sapaiti after both pa my keynote speeches akasiyana pane ya Wycliffe ya Sean Paul, and I was participating as ndibvunza ma questions. Ndaitobvunza ma questions mama andinoziva. Bandaida kuti apindure neavo vanorespect navafana vedu so that they learn. And I was doing that on purpose. I was ndapedza ndotonzi Mr. Zimbabwe Mr. Zimbabwe wasimuka chichiwana. So point yandoda ndekuti wife yandoda kutaura ndeyekuti Wycliffe akasimuka pa keynote speech. So Wycliffe akaspend a lot of time in Jamaica anowira nesteki naShaggy. So anogara achiuya kuJamaica. So anotaurisa mupatwa. Pazongosimuka vamwe dread vamwe vanga vakabva mheno kunana Sendi Anzu kwana Bob Marley. Vabvunza muquestion when undiluted patwa iwe unonzwa ndimi dzevatumwa. Kwete dzevanhu unotombonzwa kuti chinenge chindevere mutrabati ndoiziva umupati ntambo ndakamboinzwa ichitaura panews
umongameli
matangs apasho ja
nandisipo
nozoti Wycliffe akatena akashedza
Sean Paul
akashedza Shaggy akati
Shaggy
akamboti dzokorodza ati dzokorodza akati no you know what patwa zvangu ndinombotaura but hapana chandanzwa vashedza Shaggy akapedzera kuita yekuturikira inoitwa machechi ya
okay
the Lord said Mwari vakataura kuti izvo njani the Lord said this because hapana kana one word rakanzwa saka yatinoti patwa muZimbabwe yaka maJamaicans are trying to simplify language yavo kuti tinzwewo
all right for the rest of the world
saka patinoti nawana demba tikunyeperana paipo
nawana dem but tiri kuimba
okay but what about the example of Lucky Dube? Lucky Dube is a reggae artist and he is respected even in Jamaica.
Ndamboti chinyema questions epanapa.
Very smart.
Very intelligent question.
Intelligent.
I love that question, Denny. And I'm very happy to reply to that question. Lucky Dube aka introduce elements dzanisimo reggae music. Number one, pane keyboard inonzi bend inoti we wambozwa song kana Peter kana ya Bob Marley kana inika keyboard kandi we on one.
And that was like
that's
a signature.
That's keyboard yeku South Africa from Batranga music. I introduce some South African elements into reggae. So as a result, I introduced some new elements into reggae. It was easy to notice. Panimombe 100 zeblake apo kaisa 1 year white. Unoshipika kuiona. Panotu kaisa mombe zeblake pa ukasvika panimombe 65 zeblake. Osikaisa 1 year yako. Even nyangwe rimbuzi unogona kuishaya. Ona, inonyura. But like Dube aka introduce some African elements dzisiko ku Jamaica. That's why it was easy to notice. Musangitaroti munogona kutora chinhu chevaridzi muchiZimbabweanize. I can give you an example. Hip hop was born September. Was it September? 1973. Sometime in 1973. Ndopakazvarwa hip hop. Hip hop yakacreatwa nemunhu anonzi DJ Kool Herc. He was Jamaican. Ona angamova kuenda ku States and his sister had a birthday. Sapa kuita DJ pipe ndiyakatanga niya yekuti unonotora ka drum break ke song ukarepeata uramba ukarepeata yototi song kachingoti moshenza munhu ari kurepa kaunti ari kutoaster time iyo kwainzi kutoaster kuJamaica. Ona some Americans they like the idea, they took the idea. What did? They did not copy part kwa kuJamaica. They did not copy anything to Jamaica. They Americanized it until yakutoda a new name that was in the hip hop. We took to search a history of hip hop. They found the anon's DJ Kool Herc. But they took an American concept, a Jamaican concept, and made it their own. Wakapedza vatone a new genre. Ndosa ndikutaura kuti even nyangwe ndosa ndafara question ya Lucky Dube. You can take chinhu chevaridzi
and make it your own.
Ndosa ndine yanoti monolization yakuti ndotora chinhu chemunhu.
Monolize
and then it becomes mine. Saka Lucky Dube akaita popular akatonesa worldwide because akatora reggae kuJamaica vatora voice raPeter Tosh ukatoteerera Lucky Dube ukaisa Peter Tosh apa is the same voice then vatora inonzi falsetto ya Steve Kekana inonzi falsetto ndoyakamba yaizoti panana remember me here inonzi falsetto count false voice in simpler terms ndeyasteve kekana so akatora Jamaican reggae Steve Kekana like Dube Batanga vamixa ukatora coke wotora Fanta ukamixa haisiri coke haisiri Fanta it needs a new name.
There's a young guy, a producer called Tanto Wavy. Have you listened to him?
Yeah, it's Terundrism.
Okay. So what he's done is, I think, he's fusing Amapiano, which is not ours, and Sungura. Is that an acceptable sound, or you probably criticize him for copying Amapiano?
That's being very innovative. He needs support.
Yeah.
That's being very innovative. He needs support. I have listened to his work. That's very innovative. But that would develop another support. Vanhu moungana. Misa pamusoro pamwe chete. Because muZimbabwe tine problem ye-individualism. Ndosaka tiri one of the few countries in Mbinga. Because tine problem ye-individualism. Yekuti hatina national ego. We have got personal ego. Yekuti ndiri one inini. Mufano ndinamato ndakapenga. Pane national ego yekuti urikuda kuti nyika yese ibudirire. Ndozvakaitwa neMaSouth Africans. Pakatangwa Amapiano paiva inotangwa nenyika yese kawana ngoti like a parallel invention kuti munhu ari kuDurban munhu ari kuCape Town munhu ari kuJoburg mese mungoti kawana Amapiano hakuna zvinhu zvakadaro munhu wana akatanga then vanhu vanoti chinhu ichi ndechedu ichi we can develop it mutatu wave here vanhu vakanatsobatana naye kaAmapiano element kaya kana munhu pesa akatobva and even mfano holiday ndakatombotora mama wekisakani mama ne Mambira group so that's being very innovative. One those and two we need the digital sound. Both chakaipera mazhondra manje kanonisa kuti amugari pasi like zvatikati patable pano kuti tikagadzira new genre. All of a sudden matone new genre mazi.
Funny zvavari kuita ku national dress. The minute you sit down to discuss a national dress, I don't think it will be very
nice. You need to ignite the idea. You need and national dress, but you need to ignite you need to ignite the idea and let it evolve. So I like that's being innovative. In Zimbabwe, one thing chandakaona hakuna nyika isina shasha dzayo, hakuna nyika isina madofa ayo. That's a lie. Hakuna. Every country ine shasha dzayo, every country ine madofa ayo. Muno mtuto ne vanhu vane dofo rikasidi yekuti ndishamuzoti ish dofo iro ona then tina vanhu vari very innovative vanhu vakaita sana even the take 5 wana take 5 that guy is brilliant ona saka ndikutaura kuti takatora vanhu vakaita sana take 5 vana vokuchisponanza pana akapenga manje levels akapenga takatora levels totora wana take 5 totora vese vafanira vari kunyuka ava tikatanga kugadzira something to unify toregedza kunyeberana kuti ndichangu ndega togadzira panobuda something we've got very innovative people.
But the minute you sit down and discuss it, is it organic anymore or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter because tikada ndambopa example yekusouth africa Amapiano
havana kugara pasi kana
havana kugara pasi but still pane munhu
vakatanga nayo
akatanga point yangu apa ndinongo pinpoint vanhu vandinoziva kuti they are creative because ukateerera mabita levels is very creative pane like mabita anoitira anzani mfana webhebhi rako raurora anzani
Enzo
favor kandi mabita anoita mabita anogadzira mfana waya pane zvine kafavor mukati
Enzo anofana kubata double
aiwa anofana kubata double because
the sound is good.
That's creative. That's very creative one kuti tika move in that direction then we find a way kunaso label kuti this is Zimbabwean. Don't a signature. I'm telling you kuti azvina basa tine nzara yakaita semuno muZimbabwe tinoputika muno but problem yedu muno ndekuti we were colonized in a way yekufunga kuti we are inferior. That's why you know munhu akaita song yake so ikangopigwa mbichana kuJamaica anofara kuti song yangu irizwa paredio station kuJamaica that's nothing man. That not it is something chekuti zvakaitwa nana Thomas Mapfumo wana Thomas Mapfumo vakatora mbira vakagadzira yakutonzi mbira guitar and it's standing up to now ona vakakwira ndege vakaita sei takudo mayouth pane ndara andichada kumenshina boss andina permission yake akatondibata akati no you know what ngatigadzire isusu madhara genre revapfana totora vapfana togadzira genre yedu since wataura kuti we need a digital nhingirini ndikati ukatarisa historically I'll always like to look at history looking at data. Ukatarisa historically, pese panouya new genres, whether it's dance or hip hop, it's always the young people. It's not old people like me.
Mdaraja hazi ngitango kwa Sunday. Akauya akati let's talk a little more about colonization. You speak a lot about mental colonization and how our mindset has been made to think a certain way. What are your issues with our people regarding
issues?
Colonization of the mind, I guess.
Yeah, I cannot really say with my issues with our people, but chinoitika pacolonization pane bhuku rakanyorwa nemukadzi anonzi George de Grey ronzi post-colonial slavery syndrome, post-colonial slave syndrome. Anenge achitsanangura how slavery affects your mind, how colonialism affects your mind. Because colonialism yakaita kugarwa pasi, vakatoita kutogara pasi, because vanambuya nehanda nanasekuru kagova vangasina kupusa vanhu vaya. Macolonialist pakatoya muno makatoona kuti vanhu ava hatingavagoni. So pane bhuku randakavarenga rakanyorwa neanonzi Jose anzi Moze Chikowero raitaura kuti hanzi vakatotaura kuti let's create a new African anonamata varungu. So vakatanga iri junior police yekuti iwo kana uri bosi kare kwangu nemabarika unongana vakadzi 4-5 vana 15-30 chichichi iwo ukataura kuti hapana ari kuenda kuchechi vaiuya vosikouraya iwewo. Madokuments acho ariko kuNational Archives ora iwewe waurayiwa manje ka vouya vachitanga varoda kubatsira manje mhuri yako itononge vanhu vatori bho kuti vatototoro vatoendesa kuchechi vati pachikafu pamuri kupiwa chikafu pai mautanga kupiwa mahymns manje maunzi haikuna imba chemutengure ine madhimoni haikuna imba nemamusasa ine madhimoni musafemba akabatambira futi musabata mafamba makaridza ngoma futi. That's how our people were colonized to hate their music, their culture and everything. Ndokatasa kuri kustates manje kuna inze house slaves vamwe aiti house niggers anoti pachirungu wedoti nigger rinorambiswa zvaro except tichitaura nesu vanhu vatema tiri vanhu vatema saka tiri okay. Saka kana wakatsuka uine maeuropean features, straight nose, long hair, light in complexion, ndima muri house slaves, ndima idya chikafu chiri kudyiwa nachef muchidressawo zviri nice because paanenge achizoita mavisitors saka maifanira kudressa nice. Saka vanhu vese vatanga kuona kuti vanhu vari kunatsobatwa bho vanhu vari light skinned, vanhu vane mastraight nose, vanhu vane bvudzi riri kuyerera mbichana chichi. Ndozvakazounza nyaya dzebleaching, nyaya dzeplastic surgery, nyaya dzekupem,
just to be accepted.
Yeah, just to be accepted. Inonzi colorism. Ndo inonzi colorism kuAmerica. Kuti kana uri a female artist right now kuAmerica, to break through uri mutema it's very difficult. You need to be very young, very slim, very light in complexion. Unongotori bo uine bvudzi riri kuyerera. That's why chona vanhu nyanya kubudira vacho vana Beyonce vaiva. Because Kelly Rowland na Beyonce, Kelly Rowland angatori nepotential yakatosimba but nyaya kuti mutema vana bvudzi rinoyerera, ane mufushwa hair, then Beyonce ane riri kuyerera, ane straight nose, mutsvuku atopinda. Saka that's how colonialism and colonialism and slavery affected us as black people. So as black people, I think kuti tozonazosunungurwa panoda kuti patogarwa pasi from the top chair. Nazogara pasi kuti how can we decolonize the African mind? But I'm very happy kuti the decolonization process has started. Because ukatasa pa YouTube right now, we've got a lot of people vari kutaura about decolonization. Vanhu vatanga kunatsobebuka kuti taipopota kuti paiswa statue yambuya nehanda but she's a hero one. Because mukati yaina matamzimu so what? Ingona munapopota about statue yasisu John Rhodes. Kana ainzani David Livingstone ainyeba kuti ndiye adiscover Victoria Falls. Ari akadiscover atorasika.
Okay, so this then takes us to Christianity. Let's talk about your beliefs with regards to Christianity, because you're on record as having said you stopped being a Christian because of certain reasons. What are your thoughts about religion?
Yeah, chinonetsa pareligion choti no matter how you try to be civil and being a nice guy, uka disagree with the religion. As long as you disagree with the religion, you just sound disrespectful. So ended up ndanifunga zokuti I need to be quite tolerant. Do respect one my beliefs are, but when it comes to Christianity, my beliefs are it's a good lie.
It's a good lie.
Tell us about your story with regards to Christianity, because you were a Christian before.
Yeah, for 20 years, from 1994 up to 2014.
What happened?
I started asking questions. Kuti mutaura kuti Mwari akanomindisa mukadzi waJoseph. Vaita mwana mukomana anonzi Jesu. Mwari amindisa mukadzi womunhu. Vaita mwana mukomana anonzi Jesu. Saka if you don't believe in Jesus, uchanotsva kugehena, but God loves you. Saka Mwari anondida but ndiya create again kuti ndinotsva inini. Saka ndakatanga kubvunza my questions because ndakatanga kuita a lot of my questions. By the way, aparizo because chakatanga kuinaita my questions angu nyaya kuti kuchechi kwandaipinda vaida chegumi stereki.
Right.
Saka vaiparidza chegumi chacho zveginya zvezvekuti utongo nechikwereti nawo. Ona. Zvezvekuti aitove paseji akatogumbuka kudhara. Ona achitopopota kuti uri mbavha uri kubira Mwari chichichi. Saka 2012 pakazouya a new pastor manje aiparidza kuchechi kwandaipinda manje. Aitaura kuti chegumi has to be more than 10%. So unozoti vakadzi havatandokabira kavana bheka mutandokabira vakadzi.
Prayer warrior.
Men of God. Saka mukadzi wangu bva totangotota kuti saka tichatanga rini kubvisa chii?
More than 10%.
No, mirai maitaka.
Hold on.
I need to research this time. Because pese pandaibvunza kuti name.
Was that not the time when Anunzani Creflo Dollar also came out talking about don't tithe? But I've been lying to you all this time. I was misinformed when I, and disregard all my teachings about tithe. And I'm thinking,
those guys one thing I like is about my prophets, even in Zimbabwe. I have a very good business acumen.
Okay.
I respect their hustle. One disrespect or anything. I know to one of them Singapore hotel yake ndamboenda pa hotel yomwe wavo muna pa COVID pepe. Pambene sungura show. Sandangwina ndatonzi newakomana bendi tunzuro beer chichi vanaonzera beer and pa COVID kune show pa COVID pairiza pitamo ina makungwazi. Ndausiko ndine chikapu changu icho chichi so ndichimwa beer rangu ndati
that cup.
Tukuna tutosvika anotuma asha kandi akauya chivava iye wachi I'm a man of God inini buda muno uri kumwa beer and but this is a hotel and this is a sungura show, it's not even a gospel show. Vandatodzingwa pepe
na iye mbune
akatouya akatondidzinga iye mbune ndikazomupisa zvangu paFacebook akazotuma vanhu vake kuti hanzi uzemona bvise post yauye kunotitaura ndati number 1 I don't take orders from munhu wenyu, number 2
okay,
number 2 andikati panzvimbo yawandidzinga unoziva kuti ndakadzingwa ndakabudiswa more than 10 mamonya unoziva nekuonda kwandakaita I was wondering to 30 andinaye nekuonda kwandakaita kuti mumwe wacho angaende kasuti kamukeke kasingaende kudhagirina so akandibata netrausi so aidoti ndisungudza netrausi unoziva ndikati no guys I can walk on my own ndakanga ndisapapi bia but this is a hotel and this is a sungura show ndakanga ndisapapi anobuda panapa ndipa man of God. Saka ndakaona kuti vanhu vacho vajera kunamatwa. Unoziva kuti munhu akajera kunamatwa akajera kuitwa mwarified, I call it being mwarified or mwarification. Denny ukajera kunamatwa iwo uchiti ukadonhedza kaheta akapasa apa uyo anouya akapfugama achikutambidza so ini ndikakupa respect, no more respect chacho you feel disrespected. Sandatoshamisika vandadzingwa but ndandiri kutaura nyaya iyi kuzenda kurasi
you like he commented and said my prophet, I like my prophet.
I like even him but akandidzinga zvake kuchechi kwake I really like his hustle, I respect his hustle. Of course papa ndakagumbuka Peter Moende akatumwa kunzi fonera Mono auye kunotitaura naye Peter same place yandadzingwa with 10 mamonya ndodzoka same place ndine ndakapusa zvakaita sei Kanimumfana munogonotopiwa manonda guys I don't sell my dignity. Ndi type yekuti I'm okay even chigara mutangweni. Ona ndi auyo uskondusira zibhegi remarapo ndi
So you were telling us about
he researched on the tithe thing where this pastor was saying.
Right, you were telling us about how you
I can't. Are you going to bring him back? He's like, he's seeing that day like it happened yesterday.
Right now, yeah, he owes me an apology. He really owes me an apology.
Yeah,
I know it's not coming in the. You know, I have nothing to do now.
So what was he talking about before?
That could church you are now paying more than 10%, and then anzana mind don't tanga kutsigira vachiti amen mfundisi
men of God
ndizvo chaizvo
saka maitaka manje mainyasha bvatanga kuti saka tichatanga rini kubvisa no I need to research on this because for a long time ndinchi ndikabvunza ndananzo uchanotsva chichi mwari asi kufara newe ndisatana ari kutaura ndati all right so this time ndada kumbo research ndege so I started researching ndopanda katoisa wifi pamba so I started ndakadzifambira vanotanga research then I discovered coincidentally chiri funny ndichoti zveshuwo tithes in the Bible was more than 10%. I know you are a Christian, cannot visit 10%. It's supposed to be more than 10.
What I know,
3 types of tithes.
Yes, what I know is if you skipped on, and it's not paying tithes, it's returning your tithe, right? So there was the first fruit, there was the tithe, and then there was the offering aspect of it. But in the time of Moses, if you deferred on returning your tithes, you would then pay back more than 10%.
Interest.
Yes, you'd pay like, I think if you calculate it's up to 15.
You must buy wine in strong drink and be made before the Lord. Nice. Number 2, any gente wakabisa tithes in Bible. Just one, not 2. And so that 2 or 3. Apana kana one gente wadid.
Yes.
Do one thing gente kana discover. In Bible, Messi from Genesis to Revelation, amuna kana one gente wakabisa tithes. Why? Because it was a theocracy. Why tongwa ni church? So right now, nyika zinotongwa ni church kana zinotongwa ni religion. Nyika dzakaita Iran kuna na Ayatollah Khomeini kuti ndiye anotonga church apa mukuru we religion. Ona zvintu zvakaita Israel. Samuno ndatanga kubvunza kuti ndiri muIsraelite. No. And this no, at this. Do we pay our taxes? Yes, right now, but my taxes are so taxi. But I'm not saying to change one of our business, but children to quite a second who did a Urimba was there. Saka Ipapa and Dopaga ignite my curiosity. My curiosity, my Japan, dig deeper. Saka, first of all, Natanga realized right, ties were showing it was more than 10%, but number 2, it was just my Jews shit I tithes. Number 3, it knows Abraham visitors una Melchizedek. Younger still marry Mumaki Pepe, Angava Wondo, and it was loot from war.
Yes.
On I see Marianga Shandira on the what Digitiro Kashanda, it was loot from war. Yanga
Digitira was the first fruit.
Whatever it is, but he had Abraham, Panakana Yaka Digitira Yakuna Melchizedek.
Right.
Younger loot Yekundo, Akatu Bida one, Anga Uraya. On even because it was even in Bible. People not celebrate today. Mashunga Jericho. Two my songs are beautiful. Do you know what happened after Mashunga Jericho fell down? They were inside and they killed children. Genocide. We are celebrating genocide. So after
Becky K.
So I'm here for it.
So after researching all that, I'm not right. So I need where do I stand? Then the guys check up, and I think it's Matthew chapter 24, verse 15. Jesus so I was sent to the Israelites, to the lost house of Israel. That's why I need the lost house, Papi, Papa.
So Becky, are you lost house?
The lost house of Israel, Papi. And Jesus answered within and yeah, I got to Rambizo. No. Demunoparidza
So vanhu vese vari kutambira Christianity vari kuganza.
Christianity is a Roman version of Judaism. Because some of the things we don't celebrate from Christianity are story from Judaism. Because ndakatanga question why is it my Jews anoramba Jesus?
Jesus, yes.
But aren't we going back to, so in this particular subject, right? Is it not because, first of all, I know people are going to look at me like crazy here.
They will not look at you because I was packing.
What I know, right? What race was Jesus? What was he black?
Oh my gosh.
No. You can't. That's
a good question.
Yes.
I like my questions. Jesus was simply Jewish. My Jews, they are not black people. I know that a lot of black people want to say that Jesus was black. I don't care whether he was black or white. Or he was an Arab. My Jews, my Arab. Originally, want to Baku, Iraq, race and Kuniga and Uru. Yeah, it was you, Araso. So I don't know, come on, one. That religion was imposed on us by my invaders. Waka invade when Muslim right now. When Waka invade when Christians, they're Christians right now. Those religions were imposed on us by Guinea. So I don't care whether Jesus was black or Arab or blue, whatever. We have nothing to do with that guy.
I'm weak.
All right, okay, so in your research, what did you find out specifically about the Bible? Because Christianity is centered on that book.
That's a good question. First of all, the New Testament was written 50 years after Jesus died. Imagine, Guti. Munofa 1970, mutanga unyora right now. Manyepo mangana mno isepa. 50 years after.
So those records were not written as they were happening, like as they depict them to be.
Right now, 20 years later, it won't be the same.
It won't be. But we are under the impression that the Synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, were written by the disciples as they moved with Jesus.
I like that question.
Making the records and
to emphasize. Questions are no fine. Synoptic Gospels, synoptics know.
Yes.
Matthew, Mark, and Luke.
Same record, just different.
John very different. Because John has 100 years after Jesus.
Oh, okay.
So those three Gospels is from the book of Mark.
And then they just wrote different.
Yeah, different visions. But check those three Gospels. The first more than 100 years, those names are assigned. Matthew was not written by Matthew. Luke was not written by Luke. Mark was not written by Mark. More than 100 years later, kuti zvive authentic, zvive tikwanise kuita reference. Hamuzokwanisa kuti book riro chakati verse 9 no, but mukati Mark chapter 4 zvino make a sense.
It's more believable.
And those books were written in the intelligent, educated Greek. Apa dzidzo Jesu hapana ngakadzidza. Saka havasi Jesu wakanyora. Mark was not written by Mark. Luke was not written by Luke.
Okay, so with the history lessons and everything that we've known about the disciples, some were tax collectors, some were doctors. None of them were educated?
Some of them were educated, but Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, my books, those names were assigned.
Ini, mini, mini, mo. Let's give this one, let's call it Mark.
Mark, let's go this Luke. Research. And you know that some of this stuff research even the book of Mark. Do you know the book of Mark? The last 9 and just what Mama verses Mangani in the book of Mark, they were forgeries. They were not from original text. And because the language was different. Denny, opiwa text yakanyorwa 1970. Pakanyorwa masasa ekunzi pakaipa. Chakachaya. Ishinzi yakanyora 1970. Does that make sense?
And no, it doesn't.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. Because you know it's not from that time.
Because kuna mbuya na pano pakambotaura chakachaya. So the last books of Mark. Imagine pakaipa mai knows about it. Kuma last books of Mark ipa ndo pachipakati pane the Great Commission.
So are you saying they forged it to make it make sense for them
So what's the
as they
conspiracy?
colonized us?
Why did they do this? What is the big picture?
The big picture, and they would Jesus apana bambo to go and preach the gospel to the world. Jesus angaka nangana ni maJews. Akatota pa Matthew chapter 24 verse 15 kuti I just came for the lost house of Israel.
So this religion does not relate to anyone else who's not a Jew.
We have nothing to do with it.
Okay, so what should we be doing? Because our
Right
minds
now,
are already.
that's a very good question. 99 times before. This is the 100th
I guess
time.
we should just let you talk and let's not ask any questions.
This is the 100th time and I'll talk at 99, kage 100. Christianity is a good religion. I respect one who don't believe in Christianity and I'm a Muslim. But my point is, it's a good lie. Was the Denny religion is healthy. Pakaton Zans one who believe into religion, they live longer. Why? Although Jesus I but somewhere doro.
atizo sango praise
Nice.
ucharowa ni blasphemy abo singo praise
Happy fingers. Happy fingers. Calm down.
Yeah, number one, religion is healthy for you. I love religion. That's why I don't. Nangufarisa ndonga ikapi ya ndugu mwayo. And once to anditobvume kutopindura such questions. Why? Was it ndambutaro tizo uka disagree with any religion. No matter how polite you try to sound, you just sound disrespectful.
True.
So kuma fundise ese upana ngoma prophets wese
Ichaimurita.
neuya akandidzinga kuchechi kwake kuhotel kwake kuwaterfalls.
Magaya.
Come Mazita.
He's the only guy at the hotel in Warford.
He owes me an apology.
Maybe there's another one.
He owes me an apology. More than 10 mamonya, as skinny as I am, more than 10 mamonya. I don't forgive easily. I'm not a Christian. I don't give the other cheek. I get even.
Yeah.
Oh.
Amagaya.
So, he owes me an apology. Saka,
You don't disrespect.
I don't want to disrespect any religion because religion is a good lie. Because kana wene wanako vanonamata makristu vanotsanya vanotaura nendimi haumbonzi uchinzi mwana wako amitiso kana ari serious kuchechi. It's a good thing. Number one. Number two, munonzi musamwe doro sekutaura kwandati Jesus aimwa akatochinja his first miracle was beer but aimwa. It's a good thing.
Wine, not beer, wine.
That's a good question. I love that question, Becky.
Wine.
Kakachi 101. Pana vunza my questions akanaka. Let's get to wine, Becky.
Yes.
And wine. Number one, comes from a fridge. Saka juice, grape juice, turn into wine very fast unless my refrigerator comes from a fridge. So Jesus was drinking fermented wine. Aidagwa.
No, but wait, but grapes, do you have to freeze them for them to ferment?
To avoid fermentation, you have to freeze them.
No, but then it was wine. Wine yaidaga, gadzira. Was it not?
It was the best wine.
The best wine,
Say,
yes.
Manga chingeta the best wine.
For the last.
The last.
Yeah,
femba. Manga kato femba wanu. Hisa manga kato dakwa heavy. Including Jesus. But the problem, Christianity has created Jesus and God in their own image. It's the other way around. And once God created man in his own image, Christianity has created God in his own image. That's why you know the apostle and hey, fika magemens, muchingita mazindevu, mutakura twimbo yakadaiwo, but twimbo yakadaiwo yagadzirwa why kuti why kana kuti zeno hakwa. It has nothing to do nekunamata. It doesn't mean to kanokabata twimbo yakadaiwo unonamata siri yangari why. But you want to funga kana wakapfeka garments you are being holy. But my gamins have even in Bava. Families have my gamins. Gamins doesn't make you holy. But anyway, that's not the topic. Topic angari ekuti Christianity or any religion it's a good lie. Because number two, it's healthy for you. No, you are safe.
Yeah, because even when I was talking to Becky, she was saying, Christianity works for me.
Yeah, it works.
So it works for a lot of people.
It works for and do you know Jen then? But the way last Benimba Medanon's Den.
Oh, okay.
So Rumpanong.
This was elder.
Yeah. Saka tatutani ichi.
Christianity working for
Christianity.
people.
Yeah, Christianity works for a lot of people, and hakuna even belief isina matestimony. That's why ukasanga even nemunhu anotaura kuti zvichiprofita zvinoshanda anenge atori netestimony kuti ndakanamatirwa zvinhu zvangu zvikanoshanda, ende pachiprofita pai panoshanda a lot of psychology. Kuna anonzi cold reading yekuti ndokubvunza back you a lot of questions. Unondudza information natete wauri kususpecta ndauri kukuroya, ndokudzosa that information wotofunga ndinoona steri. Poite inonzi gunshotting, so pacrowd race rakazara vanhu ndikataura kuti vanhu 300 ndikuona uchitenga mota. Obviously vanhu 300 hapashai munhu aona achitenga mota, but mune muchiti amen mufunga kuti muprofita ari kuona, hapana chaona. That's psychology. So ndozvimwe zvinhu atakatanga kuona Denny pandakatanga kuenda kuchechi kuti but zvimwe zvinhu handikuti simba raMwari ka psychology yatongorowa nayo. And some of the people who were influential pakutendoka kwangu vairo vakadzi. Some of them were sleeping with all the girls who are in present worship. In hours.
Shamaiziva.
And I was faithful. I was not beating up my wife. Ukabvunza maitaka kuti ndakambarowa kanaka one. I'm a good husband. Dengu maduru rangu. The blood of Jesus.
The Jesus who didn't exist.
No, maybe he existed. He was just a good teacher. But one thing chandakafarira manje, after asking my Jews manje kuti say musinga believe in Jesus, I got a lot of information. Because the Jesus they were waiting for, na Jesus akazouya is different. Because even they were under the Roman rule. Vaitongwa nemaromans.
Saka vaitofunga kuti the deliverer was coming to cause war.
A Messiah,
and all of that.
according to the Jewish kumaHebrew, is somebody anouya kuzodzikinura vanhu. Messiah is not an anointed one. Saul was the first anointed one. Because akadirwa uyo naDavid. Vese vakazouya vese vanga anointed because Messiah is not anointed. Once a Messiah anenge arifanira kuswa dzikinura for matambudziko because maIsraelites were under the rule yemaromans. Saka vaitsvaga munhu anoswa dzikinura. Saka pakauya Jesus vakatoti but akazorowazve akarovererwa. And pamuchinjikwa it was a humiliation. So vanotaura kuti maizvi hasiri munhu atandakamirira. Next, vatomira the next one.
So this is why they don't believe in.
They don't, because even hey, we're drinking the blood of Jesus. That's ritual cannibalism. That's against. Akamuka kupi kwa chimakamona kupa chimuka. Where's the evidence?
Why are you choosing not to explain about how he rose from the dead?
That's a good question.
Another good question. 102.
Even from the camera crew.
Yeah, where's the evidence? Was it religion? Based on beliefs without evidence. Don't you know the belief? Belief.
Faith.
But in Mimika, your newfound belief has been developed after you have read the Bible. You found out something in the Bible that made you to believe in a certain way. But then now,
correct.
why not continue
In that belief. No, because
in
he
that
went
belief
back and he
that he
researched.
died and then he rose?
went-
Why are you
Where's the
choosing?
evidence?
But then where's the other evidence about why not beer?
Zvinhu zvavakanyora ivo whoever wrote the first 4 books of the Bible, but they were not the first though, because my books are tsamba dzaPaul. No, they were first books of the Bible, of the New Testament. Although Paul zvakaitonyorera mafesi akaitonyorera Timothy. Akatonyora mafesi ake.
Kuti kunoku kwakamira
Did you even know that he was writing the Bible?
Yes.
Since namdu munorwadza imbopota chimwa wine makutoti Bible matodanza the word of God says, but then panozonzi vakadzi musaparidze makutanga kuti aiwa it was Paul was trying to say this. How come makuti Paul kana arambidza vakadzi kuparidza, but paataura zvimwe mamuchibvuma.
You know what? I have to agree with
Because we are not
you
supposed to
on some of those things because
Becky-
I do question it.
Chimuchinzwa begi. According to the Bible, dzima maiki yako, you are not supposed to speak.
It's a hell no from me.
So why
Because
you're going
why?
against
the
you
Bible?
are going against the Bible?
No.
Because the Bible says, "Shut up."
That's what I'm saying. Guti.
but
I
in a
agree
nice-
with you to a certain extent with some of these things because it's almost like they pick
What
what they.
if you believe
what they
Tandutaura
want.
to some extent, the journey started
You're
in about 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years. 10 to 10 baby.
I'm not going
And
anywhere.
your husband is going to follow suit.
I'm not going anywhere. Just like what I said to Denny, the
Journey to Tanga. It
has worked for
It's
me.
never easy to live a religion.
No, it's never easy.
they
I've
call it-
left a belief system to live a religion, which is true, but I've found that it's okay to break away from certain belief systems. So I do question also. I'm a Christian, 100%, right?
that.
And I rebuke, God forbid, when I'm joining you in 3 to 5 years. I don't know what happened.
It's a fact, though. We'll check after 5 years.
Dude, in 5 years, I'll be
Timothy-
on that stage,
but
on that
Becky,
pulpit,
Becky,
preaching the word of God.
Becky,
Wait.
Okay.
So, with my questioning, especially on Paul's letters, because certain churches take certain scriptures from the book that Paul wrote to the churches of Timothy, Corinthians, and Ephesus, and all of that. And in some of the letters, he does say women should be quiet in the church. So they take, that work for them, and then what they feel like, no, this doesn't work for us. So the whole thing about drink a little bit of wine for your stomach's sake, they turn it around and say, no, wine back in those days was medicine. It was what. But it clearly says wine. How different is the wine that Paul writes to Timothy, to Mark and Matthew at the wedding of Cana? Right? It was purely fermented. But then now they want to change it and say wine yangestarwa Timothy it's medicine. It's not the wine that we know. All of this kungotiji, don't drink alcohol. Also other supporting scriptures on why you shouldn't drink alcohol if you look at the book of Proverbs and Psalms and all.
Cherry picking. Yeah.
Exactly. So they cherry pick scriptures.
Every church that under the sun, they cherry pick. That's how doctrines are created.
They do it for order's sake, because if they just allow people to do anything.
Every doctrine comes create a doctrine. Cherry pick with the verse more create a group kema verses are not supporter what you want
Thank
to
you.
believe.
Yes.
Then that's why Mama Church they judge other people for sinning differently.
But sin is sin.
Yeah, sin is sin. That's why Mama Church are not I'm sorry, but one of busy it's sin still, but one will judge different because they are sinning differently. So cherry picking. Every doctrine is a group of cherry-picked devices. I'm not supporter. That's why I'm going to debate about religion and pets.
And you won't. Which is true.
Beer rega. Panama vase anosapota beer. Ekuti pane rimwe runadu tunomera kuti Mwari mbune not ngirozi, not Jesus, not profita. Mwari mbune akataura kuti go and buy strong drink and
drink it and dance, be merry before
the
me.
Lord. Mwari mbune not ngirozi, not then poita mama anoti hey paidoro kuna ari kuparara.
Yes.
Saka it depends kuti doctrine yamuda kugadzira nderipi, but it's all cherry picking. Saka doctrine inonzi religion mukada kutanga kuita arguments akamupedzi, but I always say I respect my religions. I'm very tolerant, and I believe religion is a very good lie.
It's a lie that works for some of us.
So is there?
That's why it's good.
A very good one.
You never find an African who believes there is no God. You never find an atheist from Africans. I'm African, and I believe there is God. But it's also Mwari meet some kind of Joseph. Just come Muhammad, the last prophet. All
right. So in terms of ATR, right? Like, so before the white man came with the Bible, black people existed. Their own civilization. It worked for them. Since you don't believe in Christianity, what do you believe in terms of religion, or you don't believe in any religion?
That's a good question. Another good question.
103?
Yeah, I'm 103. Right. I simply believe there is God, period. Because when there is signs in the Mwari, was ukata samasikiro akaitwa munhu sokuti ukapindwa nedust munhu panobuda madziwo bvisa tsvina idzodzo, ukapindwa nekanhu muziso panobuda musodzi. Zvinhu zvakatogarwa pasi kunzi right. Munhu zvatakagadzira ziso iri pakapinda mavhu toita sei unzi ndatigadzire musodzi nobudisa that's God, period. So kwandiri signs is God, but pandataura paipai pokuti tinozoti Mwari akanomindisa mukadzi waJoseph. Joseph haatobelieve as sure kuti mukadzi wangu amindiswa naMwari. Joseph anenge aine kamukaku kupata so.
Alolo ndosekera kana.
I know, right?
Unogona kusekerera.
Yeah,
There's
like-
a difference between kuseka and kusekerera.
Also, do you pray then?
That's a good question.
104. 104.
yeah.
We can keep him coming,
I
Mr.
don't
Mono.
believe God is an egomaniac where uti yo never handle.
Yeah.
Kana wanakwenda chingwa, do they have to dance for you? Do they have to spend the whole night wachishamatana? Baba tuna chingwa chulwa madziro. Do they have to do that? Iwo pauri papa you know kuti wanakwenda chingwa mangwana makuseni. That's why kwandiri God Mwari haasi chigure. Chinongorova vanhu vasina mhosva. God knows kuti ndichibva panapa I need to travel home, I need to be safe. He knows everything. So he protects me. I don't have to ask for him. Why do I have to ask for him? Achitoziva kuti Mwari hachisi chimhuka chimunhu rino ego rimwe rakawandisa rekuti you have to dance moimba morara usiku hwese all night prayer usiku hwese muchiimba kusvika nozanaimena maona prayer ndapedza ndapererwa nezvekunamata. Kuzvinopera kabhozi wanamatira maproblems, wanamatira mari, wanamatira chichi, hausina chekunamata manje. Maybe ndo panoshanda ndimi unongangoti shikarabashika zvingarewe chinhu.
Dara muzi antichrist remina.
That's another tapa number
105.
right. For you to be an antichrist, you have to believe there's Jesus, who is the Son of God. I don't believe Jesus is the Son of God. He was the Son of God. Yakabva from my Romans. Caesar, Julius Caesar, he was the Son of God. Nema Romans. Katotasa pane coins atoriko from archaeology and ukaradza pakatonyorwa Julius Caesar, Son of God. Because my Romans, I believe kuti kana uri mambo utori mwana waMwari.
Right.
So any king was a son of God, according to my Romans. Every king was divine. So that concept, Chikristu, it's a Roman version of Judaism. My Romans, wakakonga any vakonga, why adopt my religions? They made them their own. They will just simply, like, they will Romanize the religions. That's what they did with Christianity. That's why we show not in Christianity. Munika na yekuna matamai Maria. My Maria Sunday. The Virgin Mary. I was that another my was Virgin Mary and 105 and then don't be Virgin or no Zano.
Dara anenya hero here mtara zvo.
Yana ngiri pa zero.
I think Nash, if you, because the way you are looking at it and the questions you're asking, it's based on that whole issue that he was talking about. Christianity is built on fear, and
it's fear.
Yeah, iwewe urukuti ukaquestiona Mwari, urunzichi wato, you're going to burn in hell and whatever. So this is why people don't get to question. So I like the way he.
No,
looks
questioning
at
is good.
He
You
looks
have
at
to
things.
question.
He's
You
able
have
to question. A
ask.
lot of people are not able to question. Like Bakomedia here is a pastor, so all this stuff is foreign to him. But what I like about what Mono
but
is
also
saying
that
is
we're not going to be-
he says stuff and he has references to
No,
the
but
stuff
desire
he's
kuti
saying.
panogona kutumirwa umwe munhu anotapira kunge zvikuita blazi atotumwa nasatani kuti akulead astray or-
After your questioning, is he Antichrist? Why didn't you ask him if he's a Satanist? That would probably the next.
He just said something.
That's number
106, my guy. 106.
Pane artist akasore kuti gospel akatondindanzi na pastor wangu don't ever record na Mono is a Satanist. So are you a Satanist? I don't believe kune munhu antonzi Satan because I'm not a Christian. I don't believe in the Bible. Ingori ngano dzemaJews tingaswera chingozwa Jehoshaphat akazodai tinei na Jehoshaphat tiudze maybe zvachaminuka maybe zvitori nane on. So coming back to zvataura naDenny J, pane mafear. Christianity is based on fear. Ukatarisa kuEurope, the history of Christianity, pane time yakaurayiwa more than 50 million people vachiurayirwa blasphemy unzi you don't believe in Jesus, uraya munhu. Ainzi macrusades aya more than 50 million people. Pane zvimwe zvinhu zvinongoitika kwatiri. Pane pandakambomonalize video yemapostori so ndakareceive mafone calls kanzi uchazoona ndati guys hapana asingatombozvioni iwe uchazoona futi. Hapana asingazvioni.
No, but that's a wrong way to do it. Why instill that fear?
It's a very stupid way yekuvhundutsira munhu because ukandivhundutsira kuti uchazoona ka even ndikabuda pano ndakagumurwa nechistory chika ndatofunga zvataurwa zvezvo because munhu wese vhukoti ma-ups and downs everybody 3 days ago pane munhu akanditumira message pafacebook anzi mukoma ndarota zvitauro panews kunzi mafa, that day is going to come. There's nothing superior but zvautaura. Maybe aifunga kuti pamuchavha ndati chechi kwenyu ndikupinda uya ndosikupinda kuchechi kwenyu sikotanga visitize. That's not a prophecy. That's inevitable. Ndichatongofa another day. And test them ups and downs. Saka that fear manje ndikangokudza kuti uchazviona. Ukabude panzapo ukangokika dombuka. Raungagara changokika whether ndazvitaura or not. Unotongovhunduka. Saka that's why ma-Africans tichibatwa nereligion, because we've got the fear of the unknown, and the religion works very well for vanhu vanotambura. In ma-Africans tinotambura static.
So what do you believe in? Because you don't believe in the Christianity side of things. I'm picking, cultural aspects where you want to then try and figure out or find, or maybe you're already on that journey. I'm an African. And this is what our African people believed in. So after doing the research, 20% tithe or more than 10%, did you then do research on the African culture?
I did my research essay, and my final conclusion. Exactly.
Especially after, a couple of jugs of wine.
Saka, my conclusion, I don't deny that.
True.
And I don't deny existence of Mwari.
It's the Jesus factor that you are questioning.
And the Muhammad factor.
And the Muhammad
Those are
factor.
Middle Eastern religions. Middle East.
Okay, so
they
what?
Colonized us. In my Middle Eastern, Muslim. Those people would castrate Africans. That's why Kusnama Africans go Middle East too. They will be castrated. And you need a Muslim. It was meant cited disrespectful. I respect you guys. But personally, I just believe there's God. Period.
So how do you pray? Because with your research, obviously, you found a new way of, solidifying your belief system.
How do you pray?
Yes.
Yeah, question number
107.
Yeah. Number pindura pa yabvunzwa. Nanash. I don't believe God is an egomaniac. I have to dance all night.
But do you talk to him? Do you talk to him?
God doesn't speak to people. We're not
that side. My question is, do you talk to God?
God doesn't speak to people.
Do you talk to God?
I don't, because no one speaks to God. This is what put off. The Lord spoke to me. What don't it put off?
Yeah. Okay.
So the wait, he had said the one time he believed that God spoke to someone was when you were given a guitar. That was the one time that you believed.
That's the only time I never believed him.
Okay. So do you believe in spirit mediums?
No.
So
some history was holy. Vanhu vaibika doro racho charicho paitotsvagwa chemberi dzekuti hadzichaita chifambi hadzisina kana ajinja nevarume vaibika doro, everything had to be holy. But then unoona fambi dzichitaura kuti ndino mudzimu upi uyu unosvikira pamunhu anoita chifambi. Hakuna, that's not our culture. Our culture was holy. For you kutosvikirwa, you had to be clean.
So
body count, a very huge body count.
So in other words, you believe in Zimu, but you don't believe in how it's being done today.
Guys, let's just say I believe in God.
No, because kudhara vanhu vainamata vaitaura namusika vanhu vaya.
We're not there, but
ndozvatinoudzwa.
I just believe there is God, period. And Mwari is not egomaniac. He doesn't want us kuti tunorowa madziro chitinamata chitaura mazilanguage.
So what does he want?
Matongues chavo chavaenza waitonzwa kuti language ipi.
Yes.
Can you tell me what shikaraba means?
According to Corinthians, it's an angelic language. No, I can. Can we go through the scriptures? Yes.
bhozi inotaurwa ndimi stereki pane mapendakosto ese
I wouldn't know
hapana munhu
what that
anopedza
means.
Bondi nokubena.
That's passion Jawa. Please come on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but he said that tongue had a meaning. He broke it down one. Benama
Anyway,
bond.
hakuna religion isina testimony, hakuna religion isina every religion utonzwa munhu ari ndakanamati vana prophet ava vaiswa maactors chichichi vanonga vachiti juta vafana. But anyway, I respect kujuta kwenyu, I respect my beliefs enyu. But as for me, I just believe there's God. But I don't believe mwari anoyaiskuita nyaya newe bheki muchindi nyaya namwari. Kodi knows kwandinogareni Whitfield. Unogona kuuya usikondiudza pane kuti undiudze chitupa changu, nhamba dzechitupa ndodziziva nakudhara. Why do I need you to tell me nhamba dzangu dzechitupa? Then undiudza kuti wakazorwa kwarusape pamwe watozona paFacebook pangu. Woti ndoti kuti prophet ndotokupa ndototanga kutokunamata pese panokumhoresa ndotopfugama. Come on. Ndosaka vanhu vari kutorwa vakadzi because knows that vakadzi they are attracted to power and authority.
Yeah.
Anokuona uchinzi naiwe mukucha uya pano usikopfugama wakupfugamiswa nemumwe murume. Mwana wako ari kuona uchipfugamiswa nemumwe murume. Guys, I respect people, I don't fear people.
It should be like that.
Yeah, my churches pane chechi kwandaipinda kwainzi vabvisa 100 mira apa. Mamanzi ndovarume chaivo ndati saka inini ndiri kuudzwa in front of my children kuti handisi murume chaivo. No balls. Ndiana maballs esunge snooker.
No, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That's not good.
Wow.
And it works. Embarrassment works. In the marriage to show.
To do what? Embarrassment works to bring money from those.
You want to be one of those who are rume chaivo, so you're going to pay the hand.
It's psychology. Because pamunoti mweya wataura asi mweya is psychology.
Yeah.
Religion is Napoleon. Do you know Napoleon Bonaparte? That was very religion. Unyeberana, but pese paita mafunction aishedza pop. Popo yasko fungaidza ma incense, ma chichi, utora ma menomazi, mama anzi enzi ma monologue ma Gregorian chants. Ufungaidza. But he hasn't got to believe. Why? Because one not religion ne politics my cousins.
Oh God.
So you're not even.
You have to make them believe.
Don't the same principles. Nongojutwa ne this religion ne politics my cousins. Azvisiyana. So not worldwide my religions even when I put in where kunonzi kune communism. Anowirana ne mapopo aya vanenge vapfeka zvimaheti zvinenge zvimaningi. Kwese unongotomona vakatopfeka mazigemenzi. Usatomona ma-leaders akapfeka magemenzi. Zviri kwese worldwide. Religion and politics my cousins. And this is zvinoshandisa pfungwa. And this is zvinoshandisa pfungwa. You can use psychology kuchuna brains on. No funny married in.
Don't give him ideas.
Matrix acho ndakatoabata isingoti zvangu I'm a realist and ndonyebera vanhu. But ndichidaita mari ndinofane mari. Munonamata mese mumakameramen. Munonamata mese papa mono muchipfugama so ndichipinda.
It's interesting.
Psychology again. Mune mzoro ane psychology again.
It's very interesting because if you look at how people talk of Christianity and prosperity and all these things that people want to hear. And then you look at countries like China, where there's no Christianity at all.
I love this podcast.
And China is one of the most successful countries today.
It's principle.
There's no Jesus.
It's
there's
principle.
no Christianity.
I love my points I raised up at Denny. Hansi,
Yeah, it's Becky K.
Okay, now we'll mix up the two. Anyway.
Yeah.
Becky J.
Hansi, Africa needs Jesus. Come on, Jesus has been here for hundreds of years. What has he done for Africa? Nothing. We are still suffering. We are the worst up to now when it comes to Fumi and everything. What has Jesus done for Africa? Nothing. What has Mohammed done for Africa? Nothing. We don't need those two guys. We need critical thinking. Right now, you guys worldwide. Check up my statistics. You guys not religion. Why? Panita problem. Instead of fix a problem, with a problem, let's solve a problem. My Christian don't know matter. My Chinese don't know solution. Where you want the on where you want a solution and then they solve the problem imuri busy mugomo ukatarisa right now vafana vekuchina ma primary school children vari busy kugadzira mafoni mamwe amuri kushandisa kuno venyu vari busy kuita chii chikaraba chivachurawo madziro. What do they get from that? Nothing. Nokuchitaura nindi musina kana boots.
Preach it.
Becky K, Bago Media, don't act like you're putting cameras in focus. You are the Christian guy. Can you just
I agree with what he's saying. I don't know why you're making it seem like Trukuramba.
Can you respond? Can you respond, Pastor? Man of God, he doesn't want the microphone. Because Mono is going to go and they're going to ask, why didn't you ask him this or that? Ask Mono is here.
It's fine. Listen.
When you are busy, when you are busy with my iPhone, or busy with my computer, or busy.
It needs to be balanced.
Critical thinking.
It needs to be balanced.
But not even education in Africa. It's all about memory. No critical thinking,
nothing practical. Solving. Yes, I took my son out of mainstream school.
Memorize my numero kimbas.
While Chinese kids are learning about coding and everything.
He's dropping some bombs.
Problems.
Listen, I'm with you.
But his education was based on memory.
Yes.
Memorize my equation. Clouds.
What you're saying is true, Mono. I'm not disputing.
Cirrus clouds.
Yes. So there are some Christians who've been brainwashed that prayer solves everything. But without action, you'll be shimandering like what he's saying. Sorry.
After all,
and everything. When you come down from that mountain, you are still $5 short, $10 short, $200 short. You still don't have. But after praying and you're going to put your faith into action, you act. Shanda. Work, learn a skill, do it. What he's saying is not a lie. It's true. But then now the problem is most of these Christians have been brainwashed to focus on one solution and one solution only.
We have visa 5, 10, 15. And we got country 10,000 people take a visa $1 each. That's $10,000. But Maria Kumanjikazo Patsanuro from that 10,000, it's nothing.
It's nothing.
Once Wabisa Maria talks to Sarah Maria, it's Musay Passanuri,
Leave it there.
So I take it you're not going to the Night of Wonders at the National Sports Stadium.
And schools on the episode, but whatever it is,
our good friend, Prophet Passion has a Night of Wonders.
And I'm respect those guys. One a very good business acumen. That's why they changed their names. We do that with music industry. John Yamkoko, John Yamkoko, I think it's about John Chibadura. Fatutango Mari. Bob Marley, akazvarwa achinzi Robert Nesta Marley, akati Robert Nesta Marley is too difficult. Vanguti Bob Marley, vaita Marley.
Like you missed the point there.
Yeah.
So what's the conclusion with all of this, Mono?
Like I respect the religions.
Yeah.
I respect the way they take money. That's a very good way of. You know something? Those guys are good.
I want
to I don't believe in those things. But what I should have done
was just followed
was to keep quiet. Spiritual father
right.
We was going to bless and do Namatandagafugama. I was a full-time church musician for 15 years, I think.
That's long.
Full time.
Were you paid?
Very little.
And yet they expected you to
give more.
To give more, take care of your family. Visa chegumi
from that small amount. But still, I met very wonderful people like Pastor Gurbe is a very nice man of God.
Yes.
The true man of God from Fig. I respect him a lot. is one person wandakati wokuchitone mafundisi atori straightforward. Even Pastor Kasangakore, I like the way he preaches. He's a very good preacher. Pastor Kasangakore, evangelist Kasangakore, admire Kasangakore, very good preacher. So I met very wonderful people in church. Even first suit Denny. And I don't know Pastor Kasangakore, evangelist Kasangakore. It was a very beautiful suit. But excuse me, sorry. Religion, it's a good lie. It's a lie, but it's a good lie.
Okay. Let's talk about your issues on masculinity, toxic masculinity, and all these other things to do. You sound a bit like Shaddai on some of your posts. Do you like Shaddai? Do you believe in what?
No, that guy, I was very impressed. Me intelligence again. I was very impressed. I watched the podcast. That guy is very intelligent. I was very impressed.
He's very sharp.
Of course, I don't agree with some of his views.
Yeah.
But just like when I respectfully disagree with some of them. Because like I thought the drunk man, intelligence. The
drunk man is more intelligent than 3 women with PhDs.
No, that one I don't agree with him. I've got a few disagreements with him, but I respectfully disagree because I know they're not going to us.
Are you functioning under fear? Are you functioning under fear?
It's like
It's a religion. It's like
even mafundisi ndotoatyika to some extent, so sashadai nemafundisi. But I respect that guy is very intelligent.
Right.
I watched the interview. That guy is very intelligent. I was very impressed.
Right.
That explains it.
Makes sense.
And even the way he debates, interrupt him like him tuka so another isa. That's a very good. He's very good. But of course, like I said, I disagree with some of his views, but respectfully, so that I was on the peace. I was on the Undure. I believe as Zimbabweans or as Africans, Trukukopa country Truku Akira, mamwe ma bitterness of America. Because I've been to America 5 times. Those people have got serious problems. And the mama problems how they emanate from slavery. Wana. Saka isusu atina same background now. But tunongo Akira. Ndovu wakombozo wanoze ma passport boys. American wakambanzo ukagugula unaona ma American men wantaura that tichadi kurora ma American women.
Oh.
Because they are too woke and too feminism, radical feminism. But to prefer kuenda kuma remote areas kusina modernity tonotsvaga women vachi because knows that kwarume respect is sexy because I know respect that is sexy and but we go America manje. I was in Jamaica in February, so kutaura number ita because they're not sexy. Vanongori zvonguri zvakomana so ziri masculine noza chinchakapfeka cape chakadaiwa apa mukadzi unoza ameni zvaoneka chikuita so unoza it's not
Nasty, you pictured.
Saka my passport boys manje aroti we want to go to remote areas like Africa like chichitonotsvaga vakadzi vachiri feminine because chinoattracta pamukadzi beki is being feminine. Varume, by the way we were created, respect, we translate respect as love.
Okay.
Murume wako respect anonakirwa. At times he prefers to be respected than to be loved. But feminism inokuzoti varume seimbwa. Hey, all men are dogs. But one ane kamwana kamukoma nanza this is a prince. No, it's not a prince, it's a dog. All men are dogs. So my problems with the radical feminism, replying your question, Denny, is they take things to the extreme. Under one bracket, but women are dogs. I'm not a dog, I'm a very good husband. I've been married to the same woman for 30 years. And my woman has got a condition, even intimacy that happens at 2014. But we're still together.
So why are you sticking around if there's no intimacy?
she's my soulmate.
But you
Would you look at that, Denny? Would you look at that?
Would you like that though? Like intimacy is important in a relationship.
It's important, but my relationship with her is more important. She,
So where are you getting the intimacy?
Let's describe intimacy first. Let's describe intimacy.
Shit. I mean, it's doing the things, right?
Yeah, but it's not copulation only. There are other ways to get a man satisfied.
I guess, but you know,
Yeah.
he's saying it's not there.
There are
But
other
it's needed,
ways. It's needed. That's why there are other ways. Yeah.
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah. So my problem is not toxic masculinity. What about toxic femininity?
It's very toxic.
I
don't believe in it, by the way.
No, I'm not a believer, but don't go pose my rhetoric questions. When I know my rhetoric questions, Anna Minduro. You are the only one who represents the female gender.
Sure.
So I don't hate feminism, but I hate radical feminism. Why? Because radical radical lose my original core values. One. Because radical feminism, I fight for equality. Fight for a gender supremacy in favor of women. You know that's the best parts of being a man. Is in control. But it wasn't murume apinda mugodi anodzika 6 feet down amene 100 feet achinocheka ko avadi tikati right now kune kuri kuvakwa uko kuri diwa mabricklayers hakuna kana mukadzi wana anojoina avadi the hard part of being a man. They want the soft part, what is the one in control. Ndiye ari kutonga ndiye chichi, but ko the hard part yacho yekunodhiga mugodi yekunoningirana. And even mapasa ekunzi hanzi taibzvanyirewo ndisaenda kubasa. The reason why maisaenda kubasa was because chainzi kubasa kudhara was hard work.
Laborers.
Dzingirira mhuka musango. It was out of love. Maitonzi musaenda kubasa out of love. But mataura hey taibzvanyiro papi pamuri kudzvanyirwa unzi mugare kumba mubike. Isusu todzingirira mhuka uko. That's why you want kuti varume vaifa more. Ndozvakaunza barika because varume vaifa more through kuvhima, through hondo. Varume usara vari 15 apa wakadzi muri 2000. So that means we have to bring and share. Up to now, right now, Tabana,
monogamous. Okay.
Do you know who is the first to complain?
Who's the first to complain? The
women.
It's
the first people to complain.
Why? What was supposed to do?
Both monoshoters, both even when you're around, hey, I'd fare barika kunyepa kwekwe. One right now, modern society, fare barika. Both kanodana ni murumo uripa barika. It's just a fallen state of barika or inferior version of barika, but uripa barika. One.
Hey, how many shots did we?
So my point is, I don't like radical feminism because it's fake. Nyepa. It lies a lot. But wakazi vano iswa in a bubble. The bubble. In a fake world. So we don't need men. I don't need men. We are social animals. Social animals. You need a man.
You need some bicep and tricep all up in there. Come on,
even if you inspire.
Yes.
Inspire, Denny, inspire Nini, inspire my camera music. Just because we are there.
Talk about it.
No masikira mari. Masikira mari, Denny. Their production. You know, when I end up for panika 18-year-old and do that, no, I see fertility because she's still fertile.
He's just bringing it in. He's just bringing it in.
My generations are full mberi. So radical feminism is very fake. Nonyebera wakazi kuti muchiribo. Unoona kwa America ndambotana nyaya kuti kwa America varume kwa America vanozomaka feminism steady because of mafungiro evanhu vavo.
Okay.
Unoona munhu ane vana 7 from 6 different fathers. Kana uda kuenda out neni, I've got standards. You need to provide a nanny, wobhadhara nanny. Anochengeta vana ava. akutozvinongeka sweet 16 apane vana 7 from 6 different men.
Sindra dhako iroro.
Bhozi kuvarume unozati mukadzi akanyorara nevarume vakawanda, we call it body count, you lose value.
Yeah.
Facts.
And the reason why varume vachikoshesa virginity haisi nyaya yekuti comparison or anything. Nyaya yekuti for some fun reason varume tongoda kungoziva kuti mwana ndewangu, kuti pandiri kunofonduka ndichishanda paipai ndiri mugodi ndichiita sese mwana wandiri kufira ndewangu.
Yeah.
Ona that's why uchiona kuti varume vanofarira vakadzi vanenge vasati vamboita masaramusi. And above all, according to science, mukadzi akaita a high body count zvinonetsa kuti aite faithful kumurume. That's according to science.
Oh, as in she can't settle?
Anenge akukompeazve. This is size 9, this is size 16, this is size 14. I think I prefer size 14. Anybody I know any size 8, size 6, size whatever is not good enough. According to science, that's not according to mono. That's not monosophy.
I like the disclaimer.
So my philosophy is called monosophy. That's not monosophy. That's science. So we find with our cultures with scientific Denny. So that she won't compare. Kana uri size 9 anongogutsikana size 9.
Yeah.
But I remember Samson was size 14.
Finished.
Uyu hapana zviri kubuda chichi 1.
So on the podcast we've got Nash, who is king of conspiracy theories. Are you like that in terms of your thinking?
No, but also let me correct you, Beck. It's not conspiracy. It's thinking outside the box.
Which box?
The box that you're in.
You don't have a box. There's no
you
box.
Are in a box.
No one thinks
I'm
in that
thinking
box.
Outside the box.
We've taken the box away.
Like Blazi Yangui.
There's no box that you are thinking outside of.
You've mentioned feminism, and you've said this, your quotes having said that feminism has been monetized. Can you elaborate on that?
Ukona any cause ikamonetizwa. People are now concentrating on the money.
And not the cause.
Not on the cause. So you end up manufacturing my problems as simple. Just for you to get the money. And imi mwanengo achitwa toitoimira tukufighter cause zero tukufighter chi hapana kana senda mune mchiwana mnyungwana ma t-shirts. Nunjwana ma t-shirts. Pana mwana uri kumusoro ari kwana all the money. Zvafana ne Black Lives Matter. Wakadzi vai leader that movement wakatenga ma mentions.
Yeah.
But wese vainingirina vaya ndi vakasprayiwa
tear gas.
Tear gas nemachichichi. So kana any cause ikadzimira yangomonetizwa chete ka. Pana vari kudya musoro uko. Vari pazasi vese we are mass sacrificial lambs. Ndimuri kufira everybody for the cause. Hapana chamunowana. Zvafana kuti ukapinda politics haikunaenda kutoitoi. Enda kumusoro. Kuna muchipiwa ma-orders. Bozi kutoitoi munofira mari.
Yeah.
Becky K.
I am so good.
Becky with the good hair. Hatina uzokomenda on time. Your hair looks very beautiful.
Thank you.
So you also have a theory about
my daughter. Ndokuti mwana wangu akabozi the same age ni mwana wangu.
Yes. Thank you.
That's an old kid though.
Yeah,
it's not old.
But mwana
same age as Becky. That's an old kid.
Yeah, I'm old. No, that being old is not a badge of. It's not a badge of shame. I'm proud to be old because they're all dead. Yeah, I'm still here.
Especially if you look back and you know how people in your time were living.
I'm God's favorite.
Yeah. So is there a conspiracy to control the population of Africa so that the West can take our resources?
108.
Yeah. When it comes to Africa and its resources, the Western world inofarira ma resources edu, but haifarira isusu. Saka, yeah. So as Africans manje, we need to be careful at times, but no support my views and over from the Western world. So for example, those ones in Africa, I'm not free press. Do you tell me CNN is it free press? Is BBC free press?
No, it's all controlled.
All right. tomboti is free press, but kana iri free press, why is it Julian Assange ari mujeri? Julian Assange ari mujeri right now, and is ari kutorwara right now. He can die any minute. Chakasungirwa chii akabudisa masecrets kuti America, and I'm happy to tutaura neshona havasi kutinzwa.
Otherwise vanonanga kumba kwavo
Visa aribude.
vanonanga kumba kwenyu mudara.
Yeah, vanonanga kumba kwangu. Ende every time vakaunza maartista vanovaunza kudhini kwangu kuti hey, mbodzidza about Zimbabwe, but nyika iyaya yakonzera chaos dzakawandisa. KuLibya right now it's chaos. Libya waiti ukaroora waipiwa mari, upiwa deni. Right now is hondo yega yega. Ona. Saka every nyika ine politics dzayo. So it depends kuti iwe uda kuita a sacrificial lamb here, uda kuita Jesu anofira vanhu vese here. Mara kana kuti uda tamba iri kurira. Because kuAmerica ukangorotomoka zisirizwa aunovharirwa. Right now as we speak, Julian Assange haasitomuri muAmerican, he's Australian. Ari mujeri right now. Ambonogara kune imwe embassy hanzi yekuEcuador whatever.
Kwakasvikira kwa.
Akapedzera nemazindebvu ngemupostori, so but pakazochinjwa president. America is very good at changing mapresident. Vanoshandisa democracy. Kana wakuda kuchinja president vanongosunga economy votanga kusponsor opposition. Munovhota nedumbu because chinoitika worldwide pasi pose tikanotarisa vanhu vanatsofunga critically begi nash then katiny proportion, so katiny proportion vanhu vanatsofunga critically, unatsofunga kuti let's analyze this problem, katiny proportion. The majority yevanhu why. That's why I want to kuchechi vanhu vanonzi why. Say vanhu vachinzi why, because why is the dumbest animal in the world. Vanzi why dzashe
Nasi.
Why? Whatever it is, why? And the sheep hear the master's voice.
Yes.
Why no chekwa musoro yakanyarira kuti z. Ona. That's why vanhu kuchezwa vachinzi why munorowa mari makanyarira kuti z. Ona, but anyway, pane point yangu ndipo kuti rizako ichidini.
It's okay.
But point yangu ndipo kuti the majority yevanhu around the world, the majority, they are just dumb sheep. The majority yacho. Vanhu vanatsofungisisa, ende vanhu vanofungisa vacho you are such a tiny fraction, so yekuti you are insignificant. Hapana, hamuna simba raminaro.
Vanofunga vacho.
Vanofunga vacho you are such a tiny fraction. Yekuti hamuna simba raminaro. So even muno muZimbabwe muno tikadzokera bekuni yemachechi yaya. Vanhu vanopusiswa nezvimwe zvokuti unoshamisika kuti saka vanhu vari kutobhilivha izvi, so umana neufuza wemufesi uyu handitauri nezita zvangu but mutoti ndiprofeti uyu mufesi uyu neufuza munomuziva mese muri kumuziva anenge aitaura kuti anorwa hondo dzekudenga akazodai mese panazobhilivha kuti mufesi munobudisa mari.
Nash is finished right now.
Mese muchinazobhilivha kuti mwari ari kuuya kune uyu mufesi uyu okunyeyewo nashiwo ototaura nengano dzako iwe utobhilivha kuti man of God, hey, I receive papa. Utonamatirwa woita macourtesy for, anonzi macourtesy for kai kuti ukabatwa ubva dona so.
Oh, macourtesy for. Okay.
Macourtesy for.
Like usazonyadzisa munhu waMwari. Wabatwa ka. Fana udona.
Although isusu vanhu vemagitara hatiwanzodone zvedu.
Same singadone vanhu vemakamera.
Because we think critically. We are musicians.
How does everyone in the church fall?
Musician nemapastors awawira wambozvinotisa.
Why?
If you ever asked yourself why? Because musicians techiona zvese zviri kuitika. Because tikuziva kuti wakarara nasister vari kuimba tenor. Wakarara nasister vari kuimba soprano. Ndikuziva. Voda kundivhara kutaura kuti simba raMwari rondidonedza ini iwe wandiro waskuna. Hautivhare. Hautivhare Nash, hautivhare Denny. This is what zviri kuitika.
We're being monolized.
We're being monolized.
Because machechi mese kashoma kuona mufundisi anowira nemamusicians. Because mamusicians ka according ndakasaka nemwe anonzi maneurologists vanodhila nepfungwa yayo. Anzi mamusicians andikanchiridza gitari inini ka. Dai mataura ndiwe negitari beki pawafona pipe ndiwe negitari.
Right?
That is
Yeah, you should have brought up.
I know, right?
Why didn't you ask him?
Dude, my focus.
At least he put it off. I mean, he got you here in like short notice, right?
You know?
Okay, so
So
we're not gonna ask
left
for
hand
guitar.
is something else, right hand is something else. So according to that neurologist, Anzi,
Brilliant.
another musician, your brain is divided into two: the emotional side and the logical side. This is functioning at the same time. It is happening. So what it means is, my musicians, we think outside the box. Books are on watch there. That's why you know in almost every church, my pastors, I'm not going to say my musicians, but my pastor not advantage into one mic. But it is to tanga ku analyze also our parties. You want to analyze that is up. I don't see major Mediterranean and see what's the difference. But under one analyze that is in the other tanga analyze our parties. I can preach. Even this.
I'm sure you can.
I can preach.
I'm sure you can.
Definitely.
I can preach. But one of the Jera just goes in the about ice cream. So that's why not in most churches, musicians and pastors are focused with them. But my musicians are not actually everything that's happening. How far the vara nice? As we told the vara, never.
So when we had Shadiah on the second time, we had almost like a town hall interview with him. He broke down again his theories, and he calls them the red pill, where he wants to awaken the men, kuti, don't be taken advantage of. And it almost seemed as if he was attacking women all the time, but he was just basically spitting facts. What's your pill? What do you think it is that you are calling people to awaken to?
You know the red pill yako yana inonzi MGTOW America. MGTOW, it's MGTOW. It's men going their own way.
Men going their own way.
Yeah, it's called MGTOW. That's the abbreviation. That's the acronym. One. Saka one to mama facts, but chinongoitika pa humanity ka. Pana mama facts are too brutal. Yekuti munongo chengetedzawo amuzoburitse pachena straight. Ndoza Denny. Yekuti munhu wechikazi unongozwa kuti ukati ndikudzingira kari yangu ukasvika pa 35 years paunosvika pa 40 kuti uchiita mwana kune kwakunetsa. It's a fact of life. Saka varume isi tochika kuzvitaura but vanhu vakaita sana Shadiah vanozvitaura manje. Ndosa ndataura that guy is very intelligent, but chokwadi chanotaura chinoda kutoteererwa. Although it's difficult to swallow. But hatisi tese tiri brave enough kuchitaura manje. Because it's too thick. But we thank God for people like him. Well, not that I believe in God. I said which.
You've mentioned God quite a couple of times, but that's okay. That's good. Yes.
I know that's a story for another day. But answering your question, yeah, I think he's got some points and to make a sense. Chinoitika mulife manje mukanatso nanga nechokwadi chako chaiyo. Nature is not innocent, Denny. Nature is not innocent. Nature ine mama ndakatomboda kunyora book inini about sex.
Is that the message that you want to put out? No. Like when you talk and you monologize people and everything, your message of awakening.
Don't disturb us from this book about
because
sex.
This is going to go on like how many other minutes?
This is an important book that
God. Okay.
Nice. This is an important book,
after
right?
your book about sex, what is it that
Tell
you want to awaken people
your plan
on?
with this book.
I quit. Because chokwadi chakatanga bude papa I was shocked. Because I spoke to prostitutes. I spoke to men. I spoke to women. The last group of people I spoke to were the gay community. Tango compare my facts so that is Zimbabwe ready to receive undiluted truth? Because as far as I see, Zimbabwe has been too colonized. Because pakapera colonization, taka continue Christianity, which is another form of colonization. So people's minds are still very colonized. Why? Taka wanda why Zakawanda Zimbabwe. So no one was
ready for the truth.
For it. So I abandoned the book.
You could release it under Nash's name.
tuzitaura after tapedza.
So I think his message is basically on the decolonizing of the mind.
We
Like-
really need to bozi takagarirwa pasi as Africans. Hanzi vakataura kuti let's create a new African. As we speak, Denny, Becky, Nash,
Bako.
Bako. We are a totally new African. We are totally different from Buyanand. Buyanand vangasingabvuma kujairiwa. Vakaramba kubhabhatidzwa. Sekuru kagu vakabvuma kubhabhatidzwa bva apiwa sere unoziva vakazopiwa sere kunzi chini? Barnabas the good thief. But angari mbavha ndiani. MaBritish angauya kuzotibira.
Okay.
That's why Buyanand vakaramba kubhabhatidzwa. Ridzai chinhu icho. That's why up to now my favorite war hero is Mbuyanand. Because vakaramba kubhabhatidzwa. That's why I'm the only Zimbabwean and it's self in Mbuyanand. Of course, it's digitalization.
Okay. Elder, okay. Let's get back to the music.
Again.
Okay. You're a musician after
Was that a
all.
bit too heavy for you?
I know. Like, I think we might need to do another episode in the future and then we carry on from there because
Okay.
Nematukirwa nenda pa social media.
yeah.
I'm Chatukweri.
My one.
And I've got dedicated enemies.
Oh.
They're so dedicated that I admire their dedication.
Okay.
They need dedication. They're going to marry. Because they're so dedicated, they take anything and post so much. No, they repost one took. So I've got very dedicated enemies. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about YouTube, right? There were these cases that happened with a number of musicians where producers and people they worked on the music with were pulling videos off YouTube. And my question was, how do you prove that someone stole your work on YouTube, first of all?
That's an type number she big.
109.
109, yeah. Okay. Music, like for people like me, I've got a degree in musicology.
Right.
We understand my melodies and chord progressions and lyrics and everything. Saka Pama melodies, it's very easy to prove. I can give an example. Tora, twinkle, twinkle, little star, I wonder what you are. Uvatora same ningi uvati baby rangu ndokuda daiwango sina mumwe chachinja pachi mawezi. That's very good. Chachinja mawezi, but katararararara kamwe chete iko kanonzi kaikako kanonzi melody.
Saka melody yoyo is enough for you to say kuti
Yeah, melody ikabiwa wesa ako mawezi aunokomboza wa plagiarize. Chinonzi plagiarism is kutora basa remumwe munhu woriti nderako risiri rako.
Word for word, tune for tune, melody for melody.
Saka muZimbabwe tikatarisa history namutaura kuti music industry yemuZimbabwe yakatanga 1930 up to now, we've got a lot of cases plagiarism. And one of the reasons why tine plagiarism Zimbabwe inyaya yekuti hatina songwriting culture. Songwriting culture, what do I mean by that? I mean kuti Nash kana asingagona kuimba ndokona kumunyorera song inini kuimba song yotoputika. Very good examples are like Whitney Houston ana song yakanyora kubvira achizvarwa kusvika afe. Same thing na ridzako kanhu kangodari. Same na anzani South Africa, South Africa, Mama Africa anzani Yvonne Chaka ainyorwa masongs naizvi Van Week. Ende vakawanda maartists akadaro because chipo chako chinhu chiri chekuimba chisiri chekunyora masongs. Ona saka muZimbabwe hatina that culture manje. Inyaya yekuti muZimbabwe the pie is too small to share, and the hungry people are never nice to each other. We are hungry people in Zimbabwe, so we are never nice to each other. So in order to survive, we end up.
Is that hungry people are never nice to each other.
Yeah, never nice to each other. So we end up stealing from each other. Ukataza history of Zimbabwe vira pakatanga music industry. We've got a lot of stolen songs. I can give you an example. Pane song ya Rod Stewart inonzi I don't wanna talk about it, how you broke my heart. Pane mwakazoiti lizofika ezulwini whatever ndinazogona chindeveri what's that what have you done watora the melody
But you just changed the words.
wachinja mawords that's plagiarism we call it plagiarism
Elder, pane imwe song so yakanetsa paworld cup so zvindi
Waka Waka.
I know the past world cup zvindi song yaJohn Chibadura.
Oh, this past one.
Yes.
I was part of the panel yakapasa judgment yekuti song iya haina kubiwa kumusic industry pane yatinoti chord progression poita yatinoti mamelodies so inonzi chord progression iya no one owns it.
What's called
Can chords progress the same
yeah
and
You can
sound
take-
the same?
you can take the same no that chinoitika manje pamusic manje what you don't realize there are millions of songs that use the same chord progression ukaenda pafacebook page pangu ndinotone malessons andakaoffer pane one lesson yandakaita so yandakaridza one bassline same drum same rhythm guitar pandangotanga kuchinja mamelodies epalead guitar chete pandaridza masongs akawanda vanhu vachitoshamusira this is a one same instrumentation ka ndongochinja palead guitar vanhu vatonzora imugoveka iyi uichiteketeka iyi uiningi dzichishandisa the same chord progression no one owns a chord progression
Okay.
machord progressions akatocreatwa namwari
Ding, 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 ding.
You know them?
it's difficult zvinhu zvakadaro
then-
dai ndauya negitare bheki
Uh,
dai wandudza ndiwe negitare ka I would
Bheki Chico.
explain this.
dude, listen, my job was to bring the man, the
I would
legend
I
to
would
the podcast.
explain this clearly.
I was only thinking about his cup.
And ndaizvitsanangura inewe kuti mainzwisa kuti okay ndo chinonzi chord progression ichi okay ndo chinonzi mamelodies ichi because chemutengureya naziwereya olobva kuti zvinoshandisa the same chord progression but zvinosiya ndekuti ziwe rinoti pambiri papirata badadim 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 badadi inoti chemutengure but zvinoshandisa the same chord progression so how do you personalize I cannot personalize ndisina gitare so rimwe gore ndichazva ndine gitare ndonatsokupatsanurai so coming back to the question I always love to come back to the original question John Chibadura haana chaakabirwa paipaya munhu akateerera akapasa that judgment was 100% wrong 100
akangonzwa a little bit about John Chibadura.
they use the same chord progression John Chibadura was not the one akacreated that chord progression akatozvarwawo itoripo it's called 1564 chord progression in technical terms ndozita rayo 1564
How does it sound? How does 1564 sound?
topamba chida ndine gitare
I'm going to nemuromo here. Because inonzichi Jesu wedu number 1. I know the key progression. I don't know if it's chord or key. That's the same C C C D G C, right? And then when you make the sounds ding 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 ding, right? Many songs start like that, or will have that thing in the song. So if another song has those keys or that chord progression in the song, does it then mean kuti you can play all those songs on that chord, or that song stole from that one, or this is how music works?
That's a very good question number
110.
yeah good. Dan 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 din dan dan that's a melody that's not a chord progression
Oh, that's a melody.
yes saka pama melodies ndo pane plagiarism yes ndo pane
Right.
the essence of composition iri pama melodies iri pa chord progression
Right.
because ma chord progressions anoshandiswa nevanhu vese they are universal
Right.
for example kusungura kune chord progression inonzi 1415 ukatora 99.9%
Of the
of songs
sungura.
ekusungura ari paone chord progression I could play you one instrumental in a same drum same rhythm guitar
And sing 500 songs with it.
I will sing to you 2 million songs
Hey.
I've proved it pa YouTube pangu ukatoenda pa YouTube pangu itoripo ivideo yandakaprova that and I proved it correctly when vese vakazviona saka that John Chibadura song was not plagiarized
So is it possible for me to come up with a melody and then, without having heard your song, and then be able to defend myself and say the melody is just similar to yours? I have never heard your song. Because it's possible, isn't it?
that's a very good question number
111.
yeah exactly
Chashika 120.
a melody manje a melody is divided in motifs So one melody no going to account, for example, 4 motifs. It's very difficult to do 100% a new motif.
Somewhere.
Like da 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 da. That's a motif. Da 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 da. Twinkle twinkle little star. That's a motif. Oh, I wonder what you are.
That's a motif.
That's a motif. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. My motifs by the So at times you find that kuna motifs akafanana. For example, ding dun 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 dun. You know, no song inonzi Let It Be ye Beatles. Ukatsvagridza ukaita tsvakurudzo dzinotaura namaichisambatidza utoona kuti kune masongs akawanda ane din dan 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 even panorman unogona kutoiwana futi wana. So pandoda pindura question yako, melody yese iri complete ukaidzura yakadaro unobatwa, but ukangotoroka mukamotif 1
and mix it with something else
unogona usabatwa. Ndo zvakaitika pana Ed Sheeran na Marvin Gaye case yesong inonzi ya Marvin Gaye yanga iri sexual healing, ya Ed Sheeran yanga iri chii yakanetsa ipapo last year handiti, must be last year. That was a huge case internationally, and guess what, isati yapasiswa judgment yam, ndakapasa my own judgment ndikatoiposta on my social media platform as Mono Mundu that Ed Sheeran is going to win this case. And guess what?
He won.
That's why I did a first class degree in musicology.
Okay.
Mono Mukundu. Shit, I mean, we could go on and on.
I mean, not like on 3 hours.
This is like our longest episode.
I mean,
right?
but it's fun. Like I'm liking.
Becky needs to be home, but you know she can't be home because we gotta. This is a legendary interview. You know, we're being monolized.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I really appreciate you coming through. We don't mind this being our longest interview, right? Like we can always do another episode, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think people need another
with
episode.
The guitar.
With the guitar this time. So next time you get a call, you gotta bring a guitar. The minute Becky calls you,
just know
go home, get your guitar. Yeah, and then
just the guitar.
let's get it cracking. Okay, before we wrap up, tell us which of our artists right now has a chance to make it internationally, why, and those that we think should make it, why you think they won't. I'll tell you right now, I think Natio, I've always thought Natio is like one of those cats who would make it for us internationally. Nash, who else we got on our list? Who of our youngsters do you think has a chance? And then we want Mono to tell us what he thinks about these youngsters. You know, of course, based on what you said, the people's favorite, Winky D, can't make it internationally because his patois is not proper. Based on
it's good enough for Zim.
It's good locally. No, I'm saying it for you. You know, based on the information and the information
like,
that I picked up.
I didn't say that.
You don't want to mess around with Winky's people. But
my fans are Winky D. Very emotional.
All right, so tell us, out of these youngsters, who do you think has a chance to make it internationally and not just going to play to Zimbabweans abroad?
Okay, first of all, one of the biggest mistakes that we make is we think Beyonce or sound like Beyonce. We say that's international because we think it's just Beyonce in America. That's international. But we forget that Zimbabwe is part of the international community. No, that's not international. Pandu Pantoni international.
But I pinned them much at it. I'm a billboard chat at somebody.
No, to pinda manji because as we speak, our biggest export was my
But he never made it to the Billboard charts. And
no,
all these other
Billboard charts is not Kudenga.
No, just I mean, I'm just saying like to
really, let's not be colonized and brainwashed to think with the Billboard charts and the holy grail. The
music has made it.
Yeah. Was our biggest export was my since the music industry started in 1930 up to now. Was payakatanga music industry. munhu wese aimba achibuda achiimba through the nose taiva tanzi this is international.
But Rosala Miller could be the biggest in terms of making it to these charts that you don't want me to talk about.
No one is stopping you.
No, but Rosala Miller, she was one hit wonder.
Yeah, no, she did a few hits.
Bambotera nalambotaura. That is before. That is hakuna ma statistics asina ma exceptions.
Yeah.
But the exception is not the rule.
Okay.
Ona saka kana chinchaita an exception.
Doesn't mean
It's very dangerous to use it as an example because munorasika.
Okay.
Because chinchiri 1 in a million. And the uri mushonga ukaita 2% unoraswa.
You did say.
Pa COVID yakaraswa yakawanda.
All right, so who out of our crop of artists, new, old, whatever we have?
Music is full of surprises, Denny. It's full of last Bonemba Medino's Denny. Music is full of surprises. Saka at times ndikada kuita chiprofita chinonisa kuti changu handizogona kuzviprotecta nekunyeba kuti you don't understand the prophetic sezvinoita vapana vangu vamwaya. But what I can tell you is munhu anotipa a Zimbabwean sound is more likely
to make it.
kuenda noti munhu ari kutedzera munhu ari kuamerica, noti munhu ari kutedzera munhu ari kujamaica, noti munhu ari kutedzera munhu ari anywhere else kana ari kutedzera
ndaiona diplomacy yenyu
munhu ari kutedzera a Zimbabwean sound
mukuru
very organic.
He's answering.
He's more likely to give us an international breakthrough.
And who is that?
Who's that? Because Nati,
I have no names.
My question is who amongst the people that exist, our crop of musicians right now?
But imagine,
because if you don't give me a name, it means there's nobody.
No, Varipo. But the music is very difficult to predict because music is full of surprises.
So he could mention a name and then...
Munhu anotipa a very Zimbabwean sound, a very Zimbabwean sound.
Is Japreza doing it?
Japreza mfano wangu.
Is he doing it?
He's doing it. Latest album rake zvakaita. Do you know what he did? Paakapedza kurecord asati arelease, he called me, Plot Marco, vanhu veHerald, vanhu veku Mail, vanhu veku tese patashedzwa Africans tipei ma ideas yenyu akakanoreka wariza.
Yeah, very dreamy.
Varanzi tipei ma ideas yenyu vatapa ma ideas edu vadzokera nawo kustudio vanosota album raputika. Album raputika here. Hatinonyembera and chaita kuti
which one is it? The double one?
No, not the one Raisound digital rare. No, not that one, but Raisound Zimbabwean Renana Chiremere.
Okay, so because he released two albums. He released 2 albums, right?
Yeah,
so
but
you're talking about the one.
Renana Chiremere and Dora Taka Shades Zero. So Murkuona say it. I think Mogadeo, Modeo, Tukuna Gujap. Shakato Badar album. That's a brilliant album. And the Japreza is one person I don't know to my international accolades. As long as
so in other words,
as long as he avoids sounding Nigerian.
So I've helped you answer this question by saying Japreza.
I've got serious faith in Japreza. As long as us sticks to Zimbabwean sound.
It's risky business. It's risky business.
So, but would you prefer Winky D or Japreza?
I see. Good question. Good question. I want to know first.
Winky D is a very good artist, especially the business side. That guy and a business acumen is serious.
Winky D or Ja?
For Zimbabwe.
Both of them.
Okay.
Yeah, but Mwanangachi Pautu one of is more likely kungo tengisa kuma Zimbabweans locally and abroad. One of them is more likely kuita international akasa Copa Nigeria.
Well answered.
That is as clear as day.
So you just said his Japreza.
No.
All right, okay, I'll translate for you. He said Japreza has a good chance of making it internationally. Winky D will make it big. Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe and abroad.
Japreza is better than
I speak Mono. No, I speak Mono.
Oh
so
God.
I'm telling
Look
you.
at Mono. He's like, oh my goodness, what do I do?
He didn't say it.
He
didn't say it. But
in I'm going to university.
Okay.
Japreza is better than Winky D.
No, japraiser.
Whether it's better to music industry, because music industry is about subjectivity. Saka subjectivity, I imagine quantify when this one is the best, this one is the least. Because the strategy A and strategy B. Panama strategy need to go far when Zimbabweans locally in abroad. But the strategy need to
Zimbabweans locally and abroad.
So Winky DR was strategy B. Japraiser strategy A.
My examples.
What do you think of
video? What
do you think of Natty O? Natty O the boy.
Voice man.
Does he have a chance? Internationally.
Serious.
Why? Why are you accepting him? Because I've always thought he stands a chance.
Yeah, that's a good question. Number
112.
Thank you, my daughter. Yeah. Natty always got the voice. Dopane powerhouse, but that page Zimbabwe. I know flyer.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I could have asked him further, but okay, we are over 2 hours already. Mono, I want to thank you, my brother, for putting through. This has been one of our very exciting episodes. Definitely the longest, and we enjoyed each and every second of it, and we hope we can do this again in the future.
Yeah, I'm sure after the comments and everything.
Bring your guitar next time, right? I'm sure people are going to have things to say about your views in terms of Christianity and all the other stuff. But it's always very refreshing when someone else brings a different perspective to the norm, so that it gets people thinking.
Yeah. Can we close off with the comment maybe on family?
On family.
Yeah.
The best way to love your wife is to love. The best way to love your children is to love their mother. Love you, it's a package. I wouldn't want to singada my wife. In front of good my wow. So I kiss when I want mom's or kiss mom's or something.
Okay.
To know chimeza mwananu shika mai wachichema. Wajizoti baba ndo warichemeza mai. What mwanangu, I love you very much. Also some sort of why the child is being rebellious. Because I was good at my work.
Me baba manyanya.
What opeds? Love your wife. Yeah.
Okay.
I love my wife. Jean Kandea Mukundu.
Jean Nodiwa. She is loved.
That's beautiful.
She's loved.
Thank you very much.
We're good.
Heavy.
Big up. Thank you so much for coming through. This was quite interesting. Mfundis. Angoshta kubeba nema questions mfundis. Why?
Sorry, nenda kupisa mbichana mfundis, but my views are mono.
Yeah. These are Mono's views.
Yeah, we shall definitely put like an audio disclaimer on this one.
Because
it's people don't
Mono.
read.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's monosophy. It's not Denny J views. It's monosophy.
Nash?
The comment section is going to be popping.
A lot.
This comment section is going to be wild.
Yeah. All right. So till next week, guys.
Till next week. Too kind.
Denny J Show. Zvanga zviri down ta up tauraidzwe nyaya dzacho dzese narrative ndaichidwe kana mchida kutipisa deep ndaipidwe make you spill a bean if you know what I mean.